Hopefully, you guys could indulge in it.
All right, bet. It's on you, brother Kyle.
Yo, shit, it's Coil. Y'all can
Oh,
find me
okay,
at
my bad.
I am Coil. I got a different perspective than most people. Some people I got the same perspective. I'm open to different conversations. Let's have it.
Okay. Um, Ali, they know who you is, but go ahead, man. Talk your shit, man.
So my name's Ali. I'm not from the planet Earth. I was just sent here to help the people, along with my brother Mansa Philosophical. I told them before they one of the brothers I resonate with, the brothers I feel like got soul, the brothers I'll fight with every single day. But I love my brothers to support my brothers no matter what. We gonna go to the top. And while I'm talking about who I am, make sure y'all hit my brother like button. Make sure you share the channel to your other to your mama, your daddy, everybody. And make sure you support. Hey, brother Mansa, did he drop his link too? Brother, you got to send us your link too, because we got to push you too. But make sure y'all hit the super chat, man. Make sure y'all get this brother 10 memberships. Make sure y'all put $100 in the super chat if y'all can, my brother. Please bless this brother, man. He's a solid brother. Let's make sure we get the solid content creators up in this space. We're going to create our own space. We live in different spaces to create our own space. But I'm here to bring the man, woman, and child together no matter what we got to do to create that. No matter what creed we have, what race we are, what gender we are, what faith we follow, I'm here to bring the man, woman, and child to honor life. So that's why I'm here.
I second that emotion. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout out to Ali. You know how we do. Karen Morris, it's on you, sweetheart. Peace to you. Thanks for pulling up.
Oh, I'm Karen Morris. I'm kind of new to this. I just been on Ali's podcast a few times. I like what he talks about. So, I want to be here to help hold women accountable so that, we can have more traditional ways than this modern lifestyle that's ruining relationships in our communities.
I know that's right, man, because they definitely need some straightening. Shout out to my brother, Sheen One, all the way from Dubai. Shout out to Sheen One. Brother, introduce people to who you are.
How's everybody doing? My name is Sheen. It's early in the morning over here. I'm just showing some love, pulling up.
Hey, man,
out in the GTC. I kind of represent us on this side of the world. Try my best to give us some outstanding information and try to be informative about what's going on so we can have power economics around the world. Peace and blessings.
Appreciate it, because I definitely ain't think y'all was pulling up. So, hey, since y'all here, we can get into the conversation.
Yeah,
reviewing we was getting to the review of a conversation I had with Thomas Sotomayor. It was on Ali's channel, and Monster was there. I was there, and what I was doing just reviewing the narratives that people make, because these conversations, we all got different opinions. It's cool, but I think a lot of times people attack people's character as opposed to them attacking their content and their perspective. So instead of coming up with an intellectual response, now it's talking about who you are as a person, and they don't realize that they can shift the narrative of so many people watching, because as you can see, we are very influential in this space. People are listening, even grown as adults. They will definitely take your word verbatim, and they will go take marching orders. Like these are Kool-Aid drinkers. These people are very influential. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we gotta be careful what we say and what narratives are displayed, because so much information can be lost. And I feel like from this conversation, it just ended up being, conservative do-gooders versus those good old Negro victims. And it's like, that's not what this conversation was. And for people to walk away from that conversation, it was just disheartening. So since you guys are here, I think it's better just going to it now so we can have an organic conversation. Like this particular show, I don't want it to be too structured. Whatever organic conversations come from it, we just let it go with that. So
yeah, Ali, I'm glad you pulled up, because Ilan Manson was over here jumping me, bro.
Oh, what happened? You might be. It might be three of us, depending on what y'all was talking about.
Nah, I'm just clowning, bro.
We had a good conversation, man.
Hey, the conversation was so good they didn't want us to
miss. Hey, man, hold up, man. Trey, I didn't even realize you up there. Hey, man, my other bro. Hey, man, Trey is a solid brother. Hey, man, y'all, you already know. Hey, my bad, Trey. I don't know how I miss you over there with that red robe on right there, but My brother is one of the most solid brothers as well too. He's a phenomenal father, man. He don't even be flexing that like that. Most people wouldn't even know. He always with his kids, but he's a phenomenal father, man. He a great man as well too, man. Righteous brother as well too. And we go back and forth all the time. What I know about these brothers, especially me and Illa, most of the brothers would love each other, solid with each other. They gonna fight, but they gonna get it right, and we gonna go towards the light.
Stop acting like you can rap, bro. Stop acting like you can rap.
You know I can rap.
Yo, when we came in,
You got some
Paul,
bars. You got some bars.
when we came in, Paul, y'all was talking about bills and stuff, putting bills through. The thing
Yeah,
is,
well, Mansa was just talking about how, a lot of big conglomerates and different companies, when they want something passed, they just, they get behind one individual, take their money to Congress and get it pushed through. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, they're talking about how, because I was telling Mansa earlier, we were talking about the different dynamics of us coming together and actually really making a movement. And I was just I just made the statement that we need to get in politics. And so Mansa was just going through the process of how we can move.
yeah, see, that's the thing. Some of us need to get in politics. Because I live in Michigan. I live in Detroit, and I work closely with an actual Michigan State representative. So when it comes to the Democrats in Michigan, I can only speak on this. I've been in the caucus, well, not the caucus because they go in the caucus by themselves, but I've been in a room when they voting, and they don't. How could I put this? The Democrats don't got no backbone in that room, man. You can visually look in that room because it's like a line in the middle. The Democrats is on this side, Republicans is on this side when they voting on these bills. And it's like the Democrats is on this side, they in high school. And when you look over there at the Republicans, they in college. I'm talking about on the Democrat side, they talking about let's have lunch, where we eating lunch at, who fucking who, excuse my language, who was showing up to this benefit lunch with who wife didn't show up. I'm talking about they laser focus over there on the Republican side. You know what I'm saying? We got to get more into that. And when it comes to these bills, they not, how can I put it? They not standing up. They going in the back room and having them talks, and they saying, hey, we voting yes on this and we voting no on this. Nobody's asking why. Nobody's saying, okay, hold on, let's try to do it another way. I'm sitting with the person that I do some work with, and they're like, okay, we're gonna vote no on this. I'm like, why? They're like, well, this is just what we talked about in caucus. And I looked it up. I looked it up on I just chat GPT'd it right quick. Me and her went through it in like 30 seconds. And I'm like, so this is actually good for the community. Why would you vote? Well, she was like, well, it's a Republican bill and it's a Republican bill. We don't like them and it's going to pass anyway because it's more of them than it is of us. But
So
I'm like,
I don't mean to interject, brother, but what we were kind of communicating about, and Master probably could take it. I can hand him off the ball, but no did it. But we was talking about that when it comes to us, the melanated people, we don't need to be on the Republican or the Democratic side.
Exactly. And to piggyback on what he was saying is I want all these perspectives to talk about the conversation could organically grow where it needs to go, fine, but I wanted to be rooted in the actual review of this conversation because it's a lot to unpack here. And I feel like for some reason, all of a sudden our people's mindsets, and I'm 40 years old, so I've heard our people talk about a lot of things. Never in my life have I seen all of a sudden now the two trains of thought in our community is liberal and conservative. All of a sudden, that's either one or the other. And it's like, since when has that been the parameters of thought in our community now? It's like every conversation it's like politics been here. It's like that's it's not new to the world. It's like we only get involved in politics when it's sensationalized through media and entertainment. Because when I look at most black people, when they become involved in politics, it's after a Kamala run. It's after a Cardi B invite. It's after a Megan invite. It's after something that sensationalizes us that has nothing even to do with politics. So it's like you're not even paying attention anyway. So why all of a sudden now that's the only two trains of thought that we can discuss. It's like, let's get back to how we got in this place, because whether it's a Democrat or Republican, it's still a European interest regardless of what party, regardless of whether it's liberal, regardless if it's LGBT, both parties be on both sides behind the scenes regardless. And it's like, I thought that was just common knowledge. But getting into this space, I'm realizing that information, I realize, sometimes can be even regional, because just based on how you grow up and what you're exposed to is what catches your attention, what catches your eye, and what makes a conversation piece. But before I go to the video, anybody want to just add their 2 cents real quick to that?
Yeah. I just want to add that clarity, and this goes back to the point that I'm about to make. If you pick up from there, is why I say the Christian conservative the white Christian nationalists, basically, or the white nationalists. Just let me keep it simple like that. The Republican white nationalists are to blame for a lot of what we see as far as the degeneracy that they've allowed, their action or inaction, because like the brother just stated, on the Democratic side, they're not even serious about getting nothing done. They're just there to be there. You see what I'm saying? So the people, yeah, of course. But the people with the actual power are the Republicans, always have been, because they control the economy, because most of the business class is from that side. And the point I'm making is, whether that's a thing or not, the point is there should be a black agenda that's separate and is separate and distinct from either party. It's about what's best for us as a people, is what we should be voting on, is what we should be putting forth as bills. That should be the agenda. Not if we're going to push what the Democrats want us to push to our community, not that we're going to push what the Republicans think we should push to our community, but what actually serves our interests. I'll land the plane there.
Exactly. Hold on. Can I? Before we go
ahead. Mm-hmm.
But that's what I was talking about. It be stuff literally that's good for our community. I'm like, why are you not voting yay for that? Well, because everybody else, basically the answer is, this is everybody else is voting for it. They told us we voting this way, and that's the way we going. And it's like nobody over there is picking up or saying, man, hey, no, man, hell no.
And
okay,
brother,
they're Republicans.
But that's a beautiful segue into this show, because you just spoke to a bigger, deeper problem, and that is the cult of fucking personality. Our people are not thinking. Their following was popular, from the highest realms of intelligence to the lowest in the hood. It's the same shit. They just got different outfits. Some of them have 800 credit scores. Some of them are living out of a fucking trash can. They're all fucking followers. And you see the same type of expression in these spaces, like this conversation. Because this one may have this connection with this one, they're right. Not necessarily. That doesn't mean they make sense. That doesn't mean everything they say about every topic is good. Just because you have a lot of subscribers about talking about the issues with black women doesn't mean you have the answers or the understanding of the history of our people as a whole. Because regardless of what issue we have, whether it be relationship wise, whether it be education, whether it be political, we could go on and on. They have a paper trail, and there's a specific interference socially or politically behind all of it. So to just skip all of that shit and just focus on where we at to the world, it's just not intelligent to me. But like I said, I'm just one man with one opinion. But we're gonna get into the review. Anybody want to say something real quick before we go in?
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll say this to that after Ali say what you got to say.
Well, so history repeats itself, and there's things we saw from different people who operate a certain way. Just like you can learn from, I guess you can't say his name, Hitler. You learn from the taxation without representation with white men, and you learn from Fred Hampton, which seemed like we need to globalize, but we also need to do a movement that humanizes people as well too. And when you're looking at like the actual, not only history but the biology of human beings, and I know some people may disagree, but ultimately all people are black, and all people come from the same source. And what the world did was change the trajectory of how you're viewed, how black people are viewed, by looking at light-skinned people and looking at dark-skinned people. But I believe the first human that gets back on the right track and not just focusing on the black plight, but the human plight, will get most people together. But we do need to, like Mansa said, we do need to globalize to connect most colored people together, but to address the human problem as well too. Because I think if we unify and address the white issues as well too, how this country is abusing, neglecting, oppressing, suppressing white men as well too, with the water, with food, with technology. The fact that the Democrats suppress black people and the Republicans suppress white people, like both parties are doing their people wrong, we'll make better progress. And I think that if we come together and create our own separate parties, just like they created the Black Panther Party, and to globalize and make the movement more that's what happened with Malcolm X. That's Martin Luther King tried to do it. That's what most Marcus Garvey tried to do. We have to connect all these people globally. I think the first human that does that, while you're addressing the black plight, will make a lot of progress as well too. I think we have to address the human plight as well too.
I think I'm having to do a slight push. Hold up. I gotta be a slight pushback. I don't think that the white man is suppressed. I think that everyday white man who can lean on the fact that at least he's not black, he's being suppressed. But as far as the overarching conglomerate white man, I don't think his position has taken any hits at all. I think it's just the everyday one who just could lean on racism and lean on I'm better than you. His world is being rocked. So now it's like, hey, we got the same problem. No, we don't. Because you're only upset because it's affecting you now. You didn't care. You didn't care that our woman was going up against us. You just cared that it's affecting your woman now. You didn't care that little Ray was gang banging and crip walking. You just cared that he's influencing Billy to do it now. So it's not necessarily the same. So I don't think it's the same way that they're being suppressed.
Can I say something real quick?
I'm mad the ladies left. I want the ladies to hop into the conversation. But bye, ladies. Thank you for pulling up.
To what you just said.
Unfiltered. You wanted to jump in there. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it kills. Like for instance, we want all this change. We want to have our own voice when it comes towards the political round. But we're not even willing to learn what's there now. And proof of that is most people, especially us black folks, we go to the poll, and once we go to the poll, we vote for the president, vice president, and then we don't know nobody else underneath that you have to vote for. We don't understand no other bills. We just vote for the stuff that they were actually speaking about on the media on which president to pick. Once they start to take away those options that this particular judge is a Democrat or Republican, then that particular person goes with James sounds like a black name. Let me go ahead and pick James. And this person sounds like a Spanish name. Let me go ahead and pick this person. Mm-hmm. They don't do enough research. They do all the research to figure out where they're going to go do their hair and nail appointment, what sports center got the offer. Like literally, they'll watch sports TV all day and be oblivious to what's actually going on in their actual life. They'll sit there and go on Instagram and look for a salon all day to figure out where they're going to get their hair done, but be oblivious on what's actually going on in their actual neighborhood. First thing they need to do is be willing to research and educate themselves on what's actually going down in their actual community first, then bridge that out. You have to at least understand what your city government has to offer versus you trying to go all the way to the presidency. You're not willing to research. And so until you're willing to research and actually understand how those two parties are operating to make a decision to create your own division when it comes towards those, you don't know what you're going against and you don't know what you're going for.
And go ahead, Ali. You were saying something?
Yes.
Coil. Oh shit, my bad.
Oh, Coil, go ahead, bro.
We have to. I heard a couple people say we want to make our own party and we got to get our own party, or maybe it was just Ali. I don't know, but we have to get into where we fit in right now. If we was gonna have our own party, man, Martin Luther King was trying to do that. There's a whole bunch of people man, that's gonna take another 150 years, bro. We have to get in, whether it's Democrat, Republican, we have to get in where it shine. You know what I'm saying? We got to go to where it's at, and the right people have to get in there and say the right things and stand for the right shit. We can't just be like, oh, we have to make our own shit and globalize, because to globalize, they have to be willing to globalize with us. They gonna look at our problems like our problems, not their problems. Even with the white man, you go to different countries and stuff, they got different problems with white people. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna take longer. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the people that's in office to have the mindset that they have to be leaders and not followers, or get people in office that are that are leaders. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of followers in that motherfucker right now. And I don't know if they doing it on
Bro,
purpose or what.
respectfully, I respect what you saying, but like my brother Mansa said earlier, bro, you don't have no super PAC. You not getting nothing done in no politics, brother. It's all about the
Yes,
dollar
you
at
do.
the end of the day.
No.
Bro, if you can get elected as a state representative, when you vote, your vote counts, my nigga. Like I don't know, like
Hold on. But just like you said, though, just like you said, the caucus gets in there and they get told how to vote based on the larger party they're a part of.
guess
You
what?
have a
Oh, my fault. I apologize.
no, you good. The point I'm making is this: how long? You said it'll take another 100 years. How long do we play the same game that we've been playing between these two parties?
Well, all I'm
Because-
saying is that people that really know better, that's in that room. Who cares what they told you? It's not mandatory. They can't strip your position away. You're still here up until it's you up for re-election. And if you're doing what's right for your constituents, they're gonna either re-elect you or not. So if you go in there and you know if they told you to vote nay on some shit that you know is good for the community, and you vote yay, they can't look at you and be like, "Oh, we're firing you." That's not how it goes.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm saying.
True. But why aren't they doing that? Because
they want to get in.
Hold on, bro. You gotta let him. Let us play. It's all, I get it. I respect it, but just let him let us play. Come back.
They're not doing that because of whatever backdoor deals or whatever dirt they have on these people got them scared to make the right move. This is why you have to have a grassroots movement from the ground up. The problem with our people is we don't recognize the true power we ever have. We possess the power to make things go viral. Everything that's a thing in this world is a thing because we made it a thing. And I'm talking about us here in America. The point is we have more power than we realize. The reality is we're supposed to say, you know what? We're not playing anybody's game. We're going to play our game. And whoever want to play ball with us, y'all can come play ball with us. If we never take that position collectively, or at least the majority of us, then we won't never see that through. To continue to say we got to be where the power or where this group is at, we've been playing that game, and we haven't gotten what we supposed to get. Hold on, I'm gonna land my plane in a second. We haven't gotten where we needed to get because we haven't made that decision. And like Algorithm Unfiltered spoke about, basically that's civic education. They took teaching civic out of the schools. Our people don't know basic civics. So we don't know how the political process and system works in this country. So with that, I digress.
The thing is that they're not. Hold on, right quick. The thing is, I know from firsthand experience, bro. Some of them are, but a lot of them don't have no big donors. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Congress people do, but when we talk about state representatives, man, dog, I know them. They salaries is shit, bro. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? And they not getting a whole bunch of money from people that's trying to pull them like puppets, dog. They going in that back room and they just agreeing to agree. It's nothing that's holding them down to it. And I'm saying I know from firsthand knowledge.
Are you in the back room with them though? Are you in that back room?
No, but are you
in that room with them?
No, but I know their funds, and I know they ain't got no extra funds. I know that for a fact.
On the books. On the books, it may not be.
I'm talking about I know them personally. I don't just know them in there, my nigga. I know them.
Yeah, but see, when I interjected, bro, I was speaking about on a higher level. I wasn't talking about, your state representatives and things like that. Like when Mansa brought up APAC. Let me tell you something. When APAC come in the building, brother, whatever the hell they want to do, it's gonna get done. Ain't nobody's. Do you know about APAC?
I mean, I've heard of it. I don't know enough.
Do a little more research about APAC, bro.
Yeah,
What's that, Ali?
People trying to come up. Is it pinned? Is the
I
link pinned?
I can't fit a million of y'all. So y'all know our stream law. I think the limit went.
No, people asking for the link.
Oh yeah,
okay.
they can pull up. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Blu-ray. I'm just my mindset is that it all have to start somewhere. And if we trying to go back as far as to start our own party, Come on, bro.
But we don't have to start with a party. We could just start with a super PAC. A super PAC is the lobbying entity. Those are the entities that actually put the money in the politician's pocket. In the U.S., we have legal bribery. That's basically what lobbying is. We don't even have our own lobbying entity. If we had a lobbying entity and we had all of our people donating to this lobbying entity saying, this is our agenda, this is what we want done.
That's
and we
economic
have
power.
our own lobbyists, exactly. And we have our own lobbyists going up to these from the top, from the highest political office to the lowest political office, putting our people in with our agenda, putting our dollars behind them. Then we don't have to have our own party, but we should at least have our own super PAC. That's the
No,
point
you're
I was
right.
making.
I agree with that. I can agree with that.
Are
Miss
we at this
Morris,
point
you
right
want to
now?
jump in there real quick? Do you have anything you want to add to the conversation, sister?
You on mute,
You're
Karen?
muted.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I think, some of the bigger problem is that a lot of Black people have blind loyalty to specific parties based off of traditional whatever. So I think, we need to start holding the politicians, starting at the local level, because it starts from there and move up. You need to start holding them accountable and actually come to the table with leverage. Because if you don't have anything to leverage, your voice is not important. It's not going to matter. So, like, what are we going to do to change the leverage part?
Exact. Good point. And Shane, I want you to jump in if we go to the video. And that's why I feel like, ladies and gentlemen, because we all have great points. What I like to try to do we all have a part to play. Somebody might be more proficient in law. We have somebody that's proficient in finance. I like to just frame thinking patterns that we can recognize that cause us to just be led astray based on how we are thinking. And I want to react to the show because it's showing you that we're not really thinking, we're just following what's popular. And that mentality is affecting us in many facets of our lives. And it's like, why are we so caught up in the cult of personality? Why do we have such a blockage with actual information as opposed to what feels good? Like, why are we still at that state? You know what I'm saying? So Shane, want to jump in there before I go to the video?
From my perspective, we got to be willing to die for it now. It's a different perspective. It's a different journey we going on. There's so many things that's happening outside of the political frame worldly. Like, we're so behind we're talking about reading now. When other countries, everybody speaks multiple, where I'm at, everybody speaks 3 or 4 languages. And that's cross-coloring yourself to opportunities and networking. That's how far behind we are. And when y'all talk about the white man's face card is good everywhere. The problem is the dark-skinned Black man face card is challenged everywhere in the world. When they walk in a room, they say, hey, you're welcome to be here. When we walk in a room, who is that? I didn't bring him here. It doesn't matter what we're bringing to the context and the backbone of how we're living. Like Nancy said earlier about our dollar circulating only 6 hours in our community. We put all these products in our head. We do all these things. We could have lobbied to fly to India to make our own billion-dollar company in these head things. We just not going that far because it starts with our reading levels. It starts with our communication. We got so many well-read people who can't speak. We got so many smart, dumb people. And that is the development of us is the problem, where we need to set up these things where we travel, where you can go see. If you look at movies like American Gangster, Frank Lucas traveled to go get the product he needed to go get. He communicated right there. He cut the middleman out. There's no different process than that in our education and our development. And though we do have lobbyists, and though we do have these Democrats, Republicans, left, right wing, however you want to stretch it, the problem is our lower barrel bottom feeders don't even know how that works. They push a button and that's it. They only know how it's brought to office. They don't know what an alderman is. They don't know anything about that. And that's where our home education comes into play. And that's our fault. But we're going to start anywhere. We need to start at the crib. We need to start with the alignment of the music we're listening to. Thank God for Gracie's Corner. Peace and blessings.
Gracie's Corner put a trend. Never mind. My kid, we was watching Gracie's Corner, and the jam, a trend jumped up in there, and we had to stop watching. What Gracie's Corner, man? It shocked me, man.
I respect that you watching it as a parent, right? Everything has this agenda in it, but it needs to be filtrated so we can still have process from it.
But to Mansa and Illa, don't y'all think? And to your point, I agree. We have to be willing to die and sacrifice for this because this stuff needs to be dismantled. They're not about to let us lobby to put ourselves back in position to take back the world. Like this is global. This is a global movement to keep the black man suppressed. So this is something that's way deeper than this. Just getting in the lobbying to become a Democrat, Republican. This has to be dismantled globally.
Man, this shit
Hey,
ain't,
man, hey,
this
man,
shit
so
ain't
ain't that
global.
what ain't that what I said earlier?
That shit ain't global, man. That shit's some American shit, man.
What?
I said American. I said American and European.
Blu-ray, you said that. I agree, though. I agree, Blu-ray. I agree. You said
This
that.
the thing. It was ironic that we have all these things going on, and I'm not against. I'm not gonna say I don't agree fully with the FBA conversation, but just for the sake of argument, it's ironic that we're talking about things where we're going to need. We're talking about learning different languages. To learn a different language, you would have to. That will put you in a position where you're dealing with another culture. And I feel like a lot of the conversations that we're having today it's like it's counterproductive to the state we're in. Because if we're really honest about where we at as black people in America, look at the mentality we have to deal with our own people. Because every generation they hit us with something that shrinks the remnant of thinkers. Every generation it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So what I'm saying is, if that's the case, this is not the time to alienate anybody of color that's willing to help and work with you. In my opinion, I don't think Africa is one of the youngest nations in the world. I don't think it's advantageous to be teaching our people to cut off Haiti, cut off Jamaica, cut off Africa. It's like saying cut off your it's like it's bad people in our community. It's a difference between embracing foolery and embracing those who have a like mind. I think it's very advantageous if somebody was to meet somebody from Tanzania who got a business opportunity where they can network their resources with here. I don't see nothing negative with that. I'm not gonna look at a continent of people and a nation of people and just solely focus on the negative. Because if that's the case, then we don't have an argument against women in these debates. Because when they focus on the negative aspects of men, we don't have an argument against the women. Don't have an argument against the men because they focus on the negative. It's like we just focus on the negative aspects of everybody. We don't have nothing with nobody.
But Ella, let me ask you this though.
Hold on. August J wanted to jump in there. Go ahead, sister.
She ain't got nothing to say.
Oh, calm down. All I was saying is that I agree with what the brother was saying, because yes, when we keep attacking each other for why we wrong and never pointing out why we right or how we are right, then yes, it's just always going to be men versus women.
Oh man, they was hating on her sister. She was eating, but all I'm saying is, I just think that logic and reason has to rule the day today. And if you in a country where you're obviously behind the 8 ball, where it's hard to meet with your own people, I think it's time to look globally, not just to Africa, but I think it's time for our people to think on a global level. If you need to learn different languages, that means you're going to have to deal with different nationalities of people. Like, we cannot keep thinking within the parameters of Americana. Like, the world is definitely going way past the American paradigm. And I don't think that conversation is advantageous. Go ahead, Shane One.
Let me say something. So the marketing around the world is the same as it is in America, right? They're leaving us out of the conversation on tech. They're leaving, like, when I go to these events, I'm the only person that represents what you're looking at on this panel, right? Why? It should be way more than that. The marketing is working around the world, and our process to develop ourselves is dwindling. And it does count for everywhere around the world because they look up to us still. Because, like Mansa said, we are transcending culture, but we don't own it. And that's the biggest problem with everything progressing the way that it is. Somebody will wear your jacket and not tell nobody it's yours, theirs. They should say it's theirs. And that's what's going on around the world. And that's the development. And we are so far behind. And I don't want to move the conversation, but when all this new money and all this digital this and digital that, where you think the first people they're going to take the resources from and just keep moving forward? These are the things that you're seeing in a consistent rate where now they have, I'm gonna land here. They have Mumbai in the conversation. They have the UAE in the conversation. They have the British in the conversation. Where's our representation in the conversation? It's not there, bro. And we have our actors and we have our celebrities doing great things. I was just with Idris Elba the other day. He's doing great things for Sierra Leone. This is what he's doing for Sierra Leone, giving them an opportunity just to get paid off their subscriptions. He created a pathway for that. But we don't have so many things in totality that is moving us forward in that regard. And I'm not here to complain about it. I'm here to find solutions about it. And I appreciate everybody what they have to say, and I hope we can build from here.
Indeed. I just want to posit this, and I'll be real quick. Couple of things. You're right about the alienation that may be taking place from some of these diaspora war discussions. However, like I said before, this is the first time our people, and people in general, but in particular to us, we've had the opportunity to be in several locations at one time and discuss all of these things. That never existed before. So there's a level of straightening that got to take place as well, because in order to be a group that is effective, you can't allow people to come and prey on your group and take benefits away from you. So there's a straightening that's going on between us and people that's international. Now, I can tell a brother Sheem is an internationally traveled brother. And to add to that point, now I'll land my plane and you can go, Cole. To add to that point, when I was in Dubai, I went there 3 times. In 2021, 2022, I went there for the Dubai Expo in the UAE. And I went to Azerbaijan. I went to all of these countries to see what they got going on, because this is something where they all get together and show what their countries are doing, what type of technology, how to get in and do business, and all that type of stuff. When I was the only one there of my shade, and it was a few others. But when I went to these places to meet these different diplomats and discuss with them about business, they said, "We've been waiting for your people to come to us." That's what they told me. So what I saw was that there was an actual desire for a lot of these foreign countries to do business directly with us, because we do have somewhat of a good reputation globally. You do have to prove yourself, but we actually have more of a respectability level internationally than Africans do. And I don't mean that in a slight. It's just that they know we're from America, so they're expecting us to have American access, American resources, and to also have that light and that culture that we bring with us. So we have advantages and we have disadvantages, just like every other group. And I'll land my plane here. The point is that we have to think globally, but act locally. You see what I'm saying? We have to do everything we do with the international perspective, but we have to do things as well, boots on the ground in our community to strengthen it, because that's the only way we can take advantage of global opportunities in an effective way. And I'll digress from there.
A question for Sheem, right quick. When you say we need global representation, do you mean Black representation or Black American representation?
Well, see, the thing is, the Black Americans is the light of the earth, right? And we need that representation to be a bridge between all the factors. If you really want to dive in deep to it, all the resources for our African people are limited on purpose by other regimes. And the fact that we shine so good as Americans, we should be the bridge who have to speak for them. Because when we show up around the world in this side, they automatically assume we're from Africa and we're treated a certain way. That's what people don't talk about. But when we open our mouth and they see the mentality of the American, now they're like, oh my God, you're from America. Now they want to speak to you because they didn't expect to run into you. They only see you on TV and how they played you on the algorithm. And now when you show up intelligent and can speak correctly, now they know that what your circumstances are, you had to create yourself out of a different way to be rooted the way you are right now. So then they take you even more seriously. But where does that leave our African brothers and sisters in representation where they don't get those educations? So we have to speak for them and they have to speak for us. And we have to make that dialect really happen where we're now bringing a whole conglomerate bill, because everything is in Africa.
So the answer. So just to clarify, can I clarify right quick? Just to clarify what you just said.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, so to clarify, you're saying Black, not just Black American. We need a Black representation globally.
Yes, let me clarify that. Let me clarify even further.
Because I asked, I understand what you said. I loved what you said. I'm saying, but I asked, do you think we need a Black American representation globally or just Black globally? Because
of the gateways of passports, because of the gateways of financial stability, because of the ability to travel where we want. And the definition of Black is different from us than it is around the world. Outside the country, you are not a Black man, you're an American. But everywhere else, there are Black people who are your shade, your colors. There's somebody in Sudan that looks like all of us right now. And we have to represent that and what
But
that
see, that's
really.
why. But that's why I'm asking, because that's a how could I put it? I don't want to say that's a long journey, because just because it's long, it doesn't matter. Pause. I'm saying we have so many problems as Black Americans. We can't be focusing on everybody's laughing. What the fuck? Goddamn, what's going on?
Nah,
They
man.
laughing when you said pause, bro.
Said pause, man.
Oh, my fault.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, I lost my whole train of thought, man. Go
Nah,
ahead.
but I'm gonna follow up. But what you don't realize is, brother, like you said, is it a Black American thing or is it a Black thing? When you think of Europeans, do you think of a European American, or do you just think of white people in general? You don't think of the white Russian. You don't think of the white American. You think of white men. And I think it's so unfortunate that we're in a time where we are more open to understanding. And I think you should try to understand all people, but American Blacks specifically, I think it's very interesting how we're more open to trying to understand white males more than Black males of the diaspora abroad. That's just kind of weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like if you're open to get through some type of straightening of understanding, I would think it's more advantageous to somebody that's has more of your plight, because what happened to us happened to them too. It may not happen the way it happened here, because they still can say I'm home. They still can say, even though I feel like we from here, but a lot of people feel like we're not from here. They feel like this not our home. So that's an advantage they have. They're still in Jamaica. They're still in Haiti. They're still in the Congo. They're still in a place where they can really trace back eons. We're not. But colonialism happened to them just like it happened to us. We borrow, we try to mimic some of their cultures. We had a big the kente cloth, and we made holidays on their behalf. Kwanzaa ain't got nothing to do with Africa, but we made it based on our affinity with their culture. They've done things based on their affinity of art. We're borrowing, and we're fans of it and admirers of each other's culture. So to me, that proves that there is a relationship that can be there. I just feel like the fact that people act like that can't exist, or that shouldn't even be a conversation.
Okay, so I understand exactly what you're saying. So to move the conversation forward, how do we get a bridge from Black Americans to Black Caribbeans, Black Africans? How do we do that?
Great question. I think it'll be answered on a different show that we have in Monday. You should tune in, because that bleeds into what you're talking about, whether you realize it or not.
Don't start me, man.
No. What you're talking about is bleeding into a great conversation, which I believe is nationality.
But that's what we're talking about.
No, a lot of people ain't ready to go where it need to go. But I think Miss Pearl wanted to get in there. You want to jump in there, Miss Pearl? Because I definitely want to get to the actual video, because I would love to hear y'all opinions on that. So.
Can I go after Pearl?
Yeah, of course. Then we're gonna go to the video. Go ahead, Pearl.
After him, let me just drop one line, and I'm gonna make it quick. Yeah,
algorithm, and then Monster, then back to the video.
All right, hey everybody. I'm just coming, so I'm just gonna speak on like the ask in of what I heard as far as like STEM, the lack of exposure, representation, alienation, and even Khalil asking like, how do we bridge? I don't want to jump the show, but to quickly answer that, as a teacher of 20 years inside of CPS schools, education is going to do that with our youth. Sheen One was saying that as well. Like, how do we globalize and get like better representation? So what's happening inside the schools is there's an intentional lack of exposure to STEM. They've even changed it to STEAM and added in the arts, but there's not a lot of that is being projected and run through the schools. You have a lot of funding that is still going to sports, and that's being projected through media as well. So a lot of our youth are just more athletes. They're more influencers, more paper chasers, more money motivated individuals. We're not speaking to them in schools in terms of what they need to do and how STEM is so beneficial. For us, it honestly fosters that creativity, the critical thinking, the problem solving. It gives you like hands-on project-based learning, and it allows you to adopt relevant 21st skill like jobs. But if we're honestly speaking, We know our oppressors don't want our kids to be educated on that level. Like, I get it. We all want the same things. But this is being systemically and systematically projected through the schools. Like, they're producing lack of critical thinkers. They're producing, like I said, more athletes, more people who are just wanting to go out into society and just produce money for them. And I guess the point that I'm really trying to make is they're making it so where the kids are not even wondering what's going on in the world outside of what's happening in America, which is the focus on, I just want to make money. I just want to be here. They don't care about outside. They're intentionally not showing them that. And so the kids are not learning. Our new generation.
But that falls back on the parents.
No.
Okay,
No.
So even if
Yes,
the parent
yes,
was
it
going on,
does.
okay,
No.
wait a minute.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I was an educator too for 11
Wait a
years.
minute, I was still talking. Wait a minute, I was still
I was in the
talking.
school system
Wait a
myself.
minute, I
So
was still talking. Wait a minute, I was still talking.
respect. I got
get
you, but
what-
you ain't got to get fly though.
Wait a
Just-
minute, I was-
okay, you talk.
Wait a minute, I was
You ain't
still
got to get fly.
talking.
Don't do that.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. She had the floor.
I got you. I'm just, but it does fall back on the parents. Go ahead.
But that's not the point. We're not disagreeing that, but she did have the floor.
No,
You
she
know
said
what
it
I'm saying?
didn't.
Let her land the plane.
Let her land.
Let her land. Let her land. Please let her land. Go, and then you can come back in there. Go ahead.
Okay. Technically, Blu-ray, I didn't mention the parents. I was saying the school systems are projecting this. I never mentioned the parents.
I know that.
Okay, so hold on. To answer, because you did interject, and I'm just gonna give you what you want, right? It's not just the parents. Like, you can have a great parent who are teaching you things, right? But then you're gonna go to a school and you're gonna be immersed in that culture, and that is also what you're going to learn. So you're still gonna have to filter out and have those discussions. And if you don't have a lot of parental influence that is generated to the general consensus of what we're talking about on this panel right now, you're only going to get a small percentage of those kids. We're still not going to produce them in masses. So I get what you're saying, but parental involvement and then the educational system of what the kids are learning. And even again, if the parents were so involved, they would be at the schools, they would be part of our local school councils and our parent teacher associations, and they would be demanding that our curriculum be expanded to talk about STEM and globalization, but they don't. So I understand your point about the parents, but the school system honestly fosters those kids a lot more. I'm with the kids from like 7 to 5. They go home with their parents for a few hours. The school system has more of the time with the kids, which means they're going to produce more of the influence. And if the parents are not filtering that out, then the school system wins. So again, I get what you're saying, but I'm just being honest. I'm in these schools for 20 years straight, not just a school.
Hey, hold on, listen. Hold on, watch it. Hold on, watch it. I understand her. Listen, the only reason I'm not in the school system is because I retired from the school system.
You don't have to be in the school system to be an influence.
Hold on. I just want to take my background though.
Okay.
I just want to let her know that I got the same she got. Trust me.
But that's not even the point.
Ma'am, I'm retired from the school system.
We're getting away from the point.
Yeah.
We got experience. The point is this, and I agree with what she's saying. What she's saying is it take a village.
No, I know. Listen, I don't listen. I don't do what she's saying is spot on. But what I'm saying is that again, and then she did concede because she did say individualism. She agreed with me, so I don't have no recoil on that. But I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I'm responsible for my child. Period.
You're right, but listen, Blu-ray. This is the problem with what you're saying. That's individualism.
No. Hold on. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. It's not a problem because everything starts in the home.
You're right. It does start in the home. You're right. But it starts in the home in hopes that the community will reinforce what the home has put in place. That's why before we was in a different place than we are now. Because what was taught in the home was taught in the next home, and the next home, and the next home. That's why you was able to leave your door open. That's why when you wasn't home, Miss Sandy next door to you was able to reinforce what you reinforced. So it's not just about you. What you do right has to be done right by the community, because if not, you're going to always have to re-engineer your child into what you want them to be. And as somebody that worked in the school system, what she said is absolutely right.
I don't
have to re-instill the same shit to these kids.
That's not true across the board, my brother.
It's
Can I add real quick?
For the majority, it is. For the majority, yes, it is.
So
Not
can I add real quick?
everybody, but the majority.
So Trey, I used to think like you when I was growing up, right? Because I had phenomenal mother and father, right? But the truth is, it's the nation's job to prepare not only the parents, but the school system and the nation to make sure all people are thriving. The thing that we're missing out this conversation as well, too, the more successful the black man gets, the more they take him out there, out the hood and away from motivating or inspiring or investing back in their communities. I don't know if you realize it or not, a lot of the people who get in top positions and who are becoming rich end up being sellouts, just keeping it real. They don't give back to their communities where other individuals are giving back to their communities. The way we know they're doing this globally is that North Africa and South Africa are very rich in resources. What they're doing is taking advantage of the country by taking their resources, exporting them with foreign governments, global companies, and they're not investing back in, just like our communities, they're not investing in the money back in those communities, but they're making the Africans and the white Africans and the black Africans rich that control majority of the population, and they're keeping those people poor, and they're not giving them the tools they need to have successful children or the tools they need to have successful education system or successful communities. That's why the village is important, but the leader is very important as well too. So I agree with you. The parents are important, but if the nation isn't giving the parents or the schools or the system the tools it needs to prepare the future youth, then the nation is the problem. And globally,
in your defense, Blu-ray, fuck the schools. I'm saying that other parents are not doing this shit. Like other families are not instilling. I don't think nothing is on the school. I think the school is here to teach you how to work in this system. As the parent, you're supposed to teach them purpose, history, and where they are in society. For real, for real. You're supposed to filter what the school is giving you. But people are not even doing that, where the school's impact won't even matter because there's no community. The school impact won't even matter if we had every household instilling the same perspective, but it's not. We only come together when violence and money is involved. That's not community.
And my last point, but somebody said that China has great ideologies for their people. I want everybody to look up China, what China is doing and what Russia is doing and what America is doing. All of them are competing for the control of Africa, to control their resources and to control the world globally using Africans. So just pay attention to what these people
real quick.
I'm gonna land real fast.
All right, and then I'll filter you after him after I do super chats.
Just like these people have been doing for centuries, they'll conquer you, exploit you, then try to teach you as if you needed their help. So China, Russia, and America and these European countries are doing the same thing they've been doing us for generations. They'll conquer us, and then they'll re-educate us on how to be like them, even though they keep us from being just like them and make us dependent on them.
Real quick, I gotta get to these super chats. I appreciate y'all for the love. Carl Anderson said, if black and brown communities can't unite to form a strong voting bloc, the wheels of democracy will keep rolling over those two groups at the bottom. That's true, but it seems like the Browns, they working together. So I don't know if it's black and brown. I think it's more black. They seem they got it together. And Calm Cloud Show, always showing love. Appreciate you. She said, Illa, thank you for your consistency, resilience, and confidence in this toxic space. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your voice with us. Your sentiments are needed. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Algorithm Unfiltered is on you, bro.
All right. Okay, most companies, you guys, what they tend to do is anytime they plan on doing something for the future, they look 100 years in the past. Literally, no matter if it's real estate, no matter if it's the stock market, they try to figure out why the downs happen and why the rises also happen. And this is something we in the Black community don't do enough. We have great ideas, what we can do and what we can implement, but we repeat past mistakes. We have the information there, but we choose not to actually indulge in it. For an example, right? One of the mistakes in this particular subject matter that we're speaking on is that when the feminist movement first started off, right? I'm going to use a lot of different subjects, not just the feminist movement. When the feminist movement first started off, it just started off with the white woman, and they were trying to build their movements so they could get the things that they actually wanted. It only became successful when multiple groups combined together. When they was able to get the Black women and now all women to actually convert to what this thing we call now feminism, it started to actually work. Now, I use another example. The LBG, the alphabet community, right? When the alphabet community first, before it was an alphabet community, it was just about, the G word, people trying to, fit in with society. It didn't work with just one of those alphabets. It took it took massive, all the people that what it all stands for to actually come together, and it actually strengthened that actual movement. So we're making the same mistakes we made in the past. We're saying, oh, let's just use Black Americans. Let's just use foundational Americans. Let's just use this particular group. And this is what every group that was trying to build something has done in the past, and we're repeating past mistakes. So this movement is only going to move with multiple groups within with the same purpose. If you don't have that, if you don't combine all Black nations when it comes towards this right here, you're never going to have something solid. Like I stated before, it took the white woman to recognize that they needed more to make their movement survive. It took the gay man to realize, you know what, we need to implement everything else that is ostracized in this community to actually build something. And that takes you to look back 100 years to figure out what worked and what didn't work.
Like you said, look back, which is like, and I want to say, I'm gonna let you go, Sheen. I want to segue to the video because, like I said in this conversation, looking back has been coined as victimization of being victim and victimhood. So I feel like it's impossible to really understand what's going on without doing that. And like I said, you can chew gum and walk at the same time. But go ahead, Scene One, and then we're gonna get to the video.
I was supposed to go after.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. No, she, go ahead. I forfeit to go to the video. Go ahead, she. You got it.
I just want to say two things real quick. First of all, I want to let everybody know, yes, I live on the other side of the world, which means if I live here, you live here too. So we can start the dialogue to the point where when I get up this line, if you want to contact me about something, I got to be willing to put in the charity work to make sure you get what you need. That's how we start growing this thing, right? I can give you a charity hour. I can give you a donated hour. And what Ms. Pearl was saying, I want to say what the thinking is here. Fortunately here, where we have the accessibility to have nannies or tutors to come tutor our kids after school. And I think that chain reaction of pearls that I experience here could be something that could be in our environments. There are retired teachers who are not making as much money as they need. And I feel, in my perspective, in my anecdotal situation, I would say that retired teachers could be the essence of our kids learning after school. Instead of letting them run outside, we have something structured. But my son, he doesn't know that he has a strenuous schedule. He has no idea. He goes to school, he comes home and learns Arabic, then he has chess, and then he has tutoring. Every day he's working 12-hour shifts and doesn't know any different. And he still has television, he still has Fortnite and all this other stuff. But not just my anecdotal situation. I'm saying there's a chain reaction where the competence of him is leaking over to his friends. Like, oh, you have tutoring? I want tutoring. I want to be better. Every child that, as far as I know, wants to be directed and led. But then we have to have people who stand up for it. And what Ms. Pearl is saying is totally accurate. Only thing I'm worried about is our reliance on these social groups instead of our community, like Illa said, where we're taking our old retired teachers and having people donate charitable hours of financial literacy, understanding this, that, and the third. And that's why I said I extend myself to y'all. If I'm on this side of the world, like Unfiltered said, it has to start somewhere. If I'm on this side and you on this chain and you got an idea, you let me know and I'll go down. I'll go downtown Dubai and see if they have it. I'll go to Abu Dhabi to see if they have it. That's just the extension of where we need to be. And it needs to be just as easy as I work with these other culturals who do the same thing. Not because I need to know you. It's because I know you.
And
who that brother Ilosophical man? I like this brother like coming across a new album or something like that, new artist or something. This just like when I came across Illa the first time. This like coming across Massa the first time.
Sheen, one of the first brothers who reached out to me who gave me a good look.
That's a solid.
But I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused because did my brother Sheen just basically say that he started his project in the home. Did he?
But who are yo, bro? Who
Don't
argued that though?
don't do that. Don't do that, Ella. Don't do that.
No, Ray.
Just answer the question.
No, let me answer that.
Illa,
What
I'm talking to Illa. I ain't talking to none of you niggas. I'm talking to Illa.
Nobody went against that though.
Yes or no?
Yes, but we
I'm done.
Nobody
I
was
want to hear
refuting
Mansa. Come on, Mansa.
trade. Nobody was refute trade. There's nobody.
Ali, I don't want to talk to you, nigga. But your name Ali. I want to talk I want to talk to Mansa.
We gonna let. I'm gonna say this though, and I'm gonna say video. I'm somebody trying to get in, but it's full, y'all. Sorry, I ain't got the next package. I can't get 20 people. This is my limit, so somebody might have to drop. But right now,
I'm dropping a little while, y'all, because it's early morning for me. I ain't slept yet.
Word. So I guess when Sheem dropped, then the next person come on. But one thing I will say is this: we don't realize that once we start learning other people's cultures, and especially we start learning different languages, we have an advantage as being Black people that people won't know where we from. Once you learn Spanish, they don't know that you're not Spanish. Once you learn certain languages, they don't know that you're not a part of that. Like we have the phenotype that can really go anywhere. So learning languages and learning other people's culture just make us a more well-rounded, powerful person where they can't pinpoint what you are. Because soon as you start talking Spanish, they're going to open up the whole world of Spanish culture to you. You're Moreno at that moment. So we don't understand the power of just being Black when you get it out of just Americana thinking. Like we got to start thinking global. Like I tell my daughter, once you leave your house, you're not just a citizen of your home, you're a citizen of your city, not just a citizen of your city, but your state. Not just your state, but you're a global citizen. And beyond that, once you step outside your house, you're a citizen of the universe. Once you step outside, you're in the universe. You're not in America. You're not in Africa. You're in the universe. So if you're in the universe, it's time to really start expanding our mind beyond our city, let alone the planet. We got to at least get out of our block with this mentality. So let
me say this one thing. On this side of the world,
come in after you.
If you learn their language, they have to open up their resources to you. So they don't really want you to learn it. I'm gonna say that right there.
And you know what language you need to speak. The only language that, first off, good looking, for letting your mans up. I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm creative. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? What's up, Bill Khan? I fucks with that guy up there, man, and my man's Blu-ray with the locks. You know what I'm saying?
Creative, what up, gang?
What's happening, man? What's happening? So I agree with everything y'all saying. I do. I just got a little bit of pushback. I agree with the education, right, in the home. I do. I think first off, though, that mixing in with the others around the world, we cannot absolutely. That's like a no-no. So we have to establish who we are first, and trying to mix in with everybody else and saying, okay, I'm gonna mix in with this culture, and I'm gonna mix in, and I don't see nobody around us deliberately saying, you know what, we're gonna mix in with them Black folk. They do it, right? Without permission, but I'm saying they not deliberately sitting around saying, you know what, we need to just go ahead and tether in with all the Black American man has to establish himself globally first, right? Once he establishes himself globally first, then there will be respect. I don't have to speak your language. If I speak niggified nigga and I got respect all over the world, you understand? Guess what everybody gonna be speaking? Niggified nigga, because they want my money. I don't want their money. So what it come down to then? It's gonna come down to finance. If we have no understanding of finance, right, and business entity, right? Now we're Black. Now we already lost because we playing in a business world, but we trying to act like individuals. It don't work like that. This country,
it's funny that you said that because your ultimate argument is an individual's argument. Because
bro, look, I'm not even trying to debate with you. Let me finish my
point. No, I'm not trying to debate with you either, bro. But I'm just saying, this is my show.
Real quick, because I'll forget it.
You said something very interesting, and I like what you said, but I'm giving pushback now.
And I got something to say when you're done. I got something to say when you're done.
I'm not mad at what you
said. Hold on, I gotta go next, and then
I got something to say.
What I'm saying is, it's a difference between, because no one said tethering into nobody's culture. Nobody says trying to assimilate. What I'm talking about is networking. What I'm talking about is I have resources, you have resources. You have some I don't have, I have some you don't have. I have global influence with my style and the way I speak. You have actual resources in the ground that I can use. If we can put our minds together, I can still have my culture, you can still have your culture. The Europeans figured it out. They went to war for thousands of fucking years. All they did was kill each other for way more bigger reasons than we doing it. But I hear a lot of black people in America talk about binding with this one and bonding with that one. I don't see how it's so weird and so hard to conceive to not just go out your way to deal with somebody who's going
already supporting the world, brother. How can I hold?
I'm not talking about supporting the world. I'm talking about networking. Listen, bro. I'm talking about networking with people. Listen. I'm talking about networking. I'm talking about networking.
$2 trillion. Like how much do we got to spend in order for
people to consumerism? I'm not talking about consumerism. So you're talking about that. What I'm talking about,
consumerism is still a budget, brother.
That's great. That has nothing to do with networking. That has nothing to do with networking. What I'm talking about.
Where's this capital gonna come from, Il?
You said what?
So where's this capital gonna come from? All this glorious,
what it is this. What this is this is a guy that's stuck in the first. Oh, my bad.
Hold on. I'm supposed to go next.
Y'all keep skipping Massa, man.
My bad, Massa.
Hold on.
You said you called you Illa Couch, nigga.
We got to get some order. I don't want to just talk over each other because it's a lot. It's a very lively conversation. I'm all over the place. It's a very lively conversation. So I want us to all get our views in. It's nothing. We're not knocking no perspectives. Right. This ain't one of them shows. So I'm trying to say, motherfucker, we ain't that. We just all passionate with opinions. And when they pop off, we gonna respond. But I want everybody to get their shit in. But there's no enemies. There's no beef. There's no one way to skin a cat. We just all present our perspectives. But what I will do is sometimes when we retort to each other, we all are guilty of doing this sometimes. We might remix our retorts sometimes. So I'm the DJ. When I hear a little itching, I gotta hit the needle. Like, hold up, we not.
Don't get off tempo, though, cuz. Don't get off tempo.
This is my party. I can, you know what I'm saying? I can fly if I want to. You heard? So What I'm saying is this, beloved. What I'm saying is this. It's not about networking with people who obviously have our interest that don't have our interest in mind, regardless of what their race is. What I'm saying is it possible that we can scour the world for people who don't have that mentality? Because I believe there's more good people than bad. Call me weirdo, but I believe that. I think that negative people are the loudest. They have the most followers. They're the most involved in social media. They're the most involved in superficial and mainstream society. I think some of the most good, well-intentioned people are busy with their family. So we don't see them or hear them, but they exist. And I'm not going to buy into the narrative of everybody trying to tell us that everybody's out to get you and everybody don't give a fuck about you. That's bullshit. Because when we live, if that was the case, we wouldn't be able to go to the malls. 90% of our days go on peacefully. Every day.
I hear what you're saying, brother.
What I'm saying is, listen, now I'm gonna let my plane. What I'm saying is this: intelligent people need to meet intelligent people everywhere they possibly can.
I agree, totally. But
can I just drop off real quick?
Hold on, Sheem. I got you. I really do. I promise.
No, I'm leaving out.
I got you, brother.
Hold on, he's gonna slide out. Let him go real quick. He's gonna slide out, Greg.
Goodbye real quick. Go ahead, Sheem.
Hey, I just want to say I appreciate everybody on this platform. All opinions are welcome. Just at Sheem1 me on any platform. Get at me, man. Let's talk how I can increase your life. How can I help? Peace and blessings. Illa, thank you, man. Later.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Follow back. Don't play.
I got you, dog.
For real. So look, I'm not knocking what we saying. I'm just saying let's establish us first. And like with any business, right? The reason they not respecting us is because of it ain't like we don't have the revenue. It don't like we don't have the intelligence. It ain't like we don't have everything. What we don't have is the unity. We're not established as, so we can say black people, but what does that mean? Who are y'all? Where y'all come from? Who y'all registered? What country y'all registered through? So now we become a business entity, right? A business entity, right? Now we can move as an entity. Meaning if somebody cuss Miss Pearl out or call Miss Pearl out of her name, they got all of us to deal with now. They got all 40 million, right, of us to deal with. On top of that, we talking banking and we talking finance. So we have no fine. And I see my man's algorithm. He's shaking his head. I can't wait to hear what he got to say on his legacy building plan. But at any rate, for real. I can't wait to hear that. We not making no interest. We're not making no interest. We're not making any interest off of our money. This is how we going. We ain't gonna work our asses to the top. We the minimal, and don't no nigga really want to work for real. So the 8 million people on the 8 billion, my bad, 8 billion people on the planet. 40 million of us. 8 billion, 40 million. 8 billion, 40 million. You see how that works? These niggas don't want to work. So why don't we go service the 8 billion? I don't mean going to work for them at tables. I mean providing financial products, right? For these people across the globe, like you talking about, ill, right? That's how we go get them. Now they mortgages is ours. We're making money from compound interest now. They car payments is on us. Guess what? We're making money from them from compound interest now. All these countries out here that want to be first world countries, let them be first world countries. But black people need to be in position, right, to finance the future. This is how, not just see, we as men invest in our own right. Ain't that how we come up? So now we got to take that same concept, put it together, right, as a group, and then we go out, right, and we start conquering again. That's how we conquer, nigga.
Creator, respectfully.
This shit is whack.
Hold on, let me ask. Hold on,
man.
Illa, let me ask my brother Creator one question.
I think we're saying the same thing to a degree.
Hold on,
I would like to
I got
respond
pushback
to that
on Creator. I got
whenever
one
you
To a
question.
degree, ill. To a degree.
Creator,
Get to the video. I don't want to have y'all here all night.
my bad, bro. I just got
He
one
said
question.
something that was
Creator.
trying to agree.
Illa, give up on the video, my brother. Give up on the video, bro. We not
Hey,
getting to that
Creator,
video.
I got one question
This
for you.
conversation is too
Go
good.
ahead, Blue. I'm
We not
listening to
getting
you,
to
Blue.
that
Monster
video.
Hey, hold on.
never
Hey,
wins.
I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Depending on your answer, Creator, it's gonna let me know if your plan gonna work or not. Do you know what Ripple did the other day, or what happened to Ripple?
Who the hell is
Is which one? Is that
XRP.
XRP?
I quit
Is that
helping,
XRP?
man.
Is it XRP? I don't know. I got some. It either went up or went down. If it went down, we'll buy more.
Ripple is not XRP.
Well, whatever it is, if it went down,
It
we'll buy
produces
more.
it.
It's a. Hold on.
I'm sorry,
Hold
bro.
on,
We take
hold
this
on.
over here.
This-
All right,
No,
listen,
you good, bro.
Bro,
No, you
listen,
cool.
this
Hold on,
man
pull up my
just gave a plan, and how you gonna give a plan talking about finances when you don't know what the infrastructure is doing? So I'm trying to see where he at because these people playing a whole nother game.
So listen,
Good
I
job,
get it.
Blu-ray. Good
I
job,
get it.
Blu-ray.
I get it. Listen, I'm not here to try to prove. Hold on. Now let me defend myself. Just let me defend myself.
No,
brother. That's
I
it.
didn't get to
It don't
defend
take
myself
long.
against you.
Hey,
You
bro,
want
I
me
ain't
to
no
defend
rookie.
you want to defend yourself.
Yeah, let me defend
That's
myself. I ain't no
crazy
rookie.
word.
I ain't no rookie. Come on in, Alga. You ain't gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? Come on
Get your
in.
ball.
Your big ass. Come on in here, man.
seeing that we let,
All right. No. What Creator just proved, right?
And I want the way in the conversation. Then Coel got to get in there. I don't know who time out. Time him out in the chat.
Yeah, somebody got me out in the chat. I was trying to say something, but
Hold on, Keon. Hold on, real quick. So
I
listen.
love to be refuted on a point that nigga wasn't even talking
Hey,
about.
Creator, hold on, Creator, hold on, no. Listen. So, hold on, algorithm finna go. But let me say this: if you didn't, when we start talking about finances and mobilizing and going across different countries and mobilizing and really making a move, if you don't know what Ripple just did,
But you do, right? That's what we brothers. You do, right? You do though, right? We in the
Tell
same
us.
goddamn house.
Tell us,
listen,
bro.
hold on. My brother, listen, I do algorithm to alley oop. He finna slam dunk the ball. But this one, no did it. But this what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, listen, you gotta know the game that these white folks is playing. I let my play algorithm. You got it.
well.
All of us will come together from that point.
Okay.
It's not important for all of us to know everything. That's why we come in here and we share techniques, we share strategy.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. Blu-ray. The fact that hold on, you next algorithm. The fact that you knew what it was doesn't take away what Creator was saying. What Creator is saying is, hey, I'm telling about the bigger picture. You're saying, hey, this is the details, but the fact is, we both on the same page. Him speaking to financial literacy and him not knowing the details of XRP don't mean he shouldn't speak on it. That's why you here. Each one teach one. I play the point, you play the small forward. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop thinking it's a contest. Like whatever.
That's what it was about.
I get his point though. He's right. He's absolutely right.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. That's not what I'm saying you're doing. When I make these type of statements and jump in there, it's because we have to remember this conversation is featuring us, but it's not about us. It's about the audience. So when I make these little intermissions to flesh out certain stuff, it's because we got an audience that'll take one thing and run with it. So I got to make sure everything is on my. This is what I do. This Illa style. I like to flesh out a lot of things so the point won't be missed, and people could pick a side and say, "Oh, this one ate." That we all eating. We all eating. It just depends on what meal you in the mood for. But this is it's a smorgasbord right here. So I'm gonna let the algorithm come in, and then I want to hear from the ladies next.
So creative. I don't know. So creative. I don't know if you were here. So creative. When it comes to what you were just saying, you kind of just proved my point. It's like we're bound to repeat history, just with that particular mindset. Let's talk about the first, and I'm gonna talk about another group because we're trying to build a group, correct? As Black folks, let me tell you about another group. We're gonna go back to the feminist movement. That first wave of feminist movement started in the 19th century, 1848. It took them 72 years to be able to even vote. And then they started to realize, hey, we need more to come to our group for it can actually be a powerhouse. Literally, it took them over 100 years to actually get implemented in the system well enough to even build something. Now we're on the fourth wave. The first wave took 72 years. And now we're on the fourth wave of it. And you know what it is? It's all women. It's not just the white woman. It's not the white and Black woman. It's all women that's able to eat at that particular table. So if you want to continue history where we make these mistakes in the beginning of the movement until we get to the fourth movement, we got a lot of years ahead of us before we can actually get some change done. Because the mistakes are there. You just got to be able to see them and move past them. Because if I told you that there was a cliff over here, make a right instead of making a left, because it's a cliff to your left side, and you chose to go left and come off that cliff, that's on you. Because I already gave you the information to move past that.
No, because I'm handcuffing you with that information. You coming with me.
It's on Monster now. It's on August. Go ahead, Monster.
I'm gonna keep it brief. See, algorithm. I think one thing to bridge what you and Creator are saying. One thing you're saying is, when it came to the alphabet group, it took the G-men to say, okay, we got to include these other groups. When it came to the feminist movement, you said it took the white woman to say, okay, we need to add on to the group. They still control and run those groups. You see what I'm saying? They're still, when white women say, this is what we doing to the rest of the feminists, the rest of the women get on board because they're the ones that run the group. And I think that what we have to understand is look at what we have been able to accomplish in America without any other group. So even if we want to take it further, what Creator is saying, we need to first establish ourselves here as the dominant force and organize among ourselves first, which doesn't have to take long because we've already done a lot already since we've been here in America. But we have to create that solidarity and that power-based structure before we add on to it. And with that, I'll land my plane. I want to say other stuff, but I got to land my plane right there.
Wow.
Algo, I agree. I do. Preparation is everything.
Can Ms. Pearl go? Can Ms. Pearl go?
August had a finger up, and then Ms. Pearl could come in. Go ahead, August.
Oh, that's what I thought it was.
So all the Black men that are on the panel that say that feminism is a bad thing, do you honestly believe that women's rights get taken away and then all of a sudden they go back to, well, slavery was a good thing too, so let's take the rights from Black men?
Hold on. Repeat that one more time. Run that back.
Okay, do do you believe that the patriarchy is rooted in misogynism and slavery?
No.
No,
No, I think it's
not at
rooted
all.
in racism.
Okay, I
Me
said,
personally.
okay, I'm sorry, I misworded it. Do you believe that the patriarchy is rooted in racism and misogyny? That's what I meant.
I think
Racism,
more
yeah.
racism than misogyny because I feel like the people who created because I think a lot of times I hear women talk about the patriarchy and they throw black men into it as if we are part of that and we're not. What they're talking about is European colonialism and European white patriarchy, and black men have no place in that. And white patriarchy is not it's against black people, period. It used different, it has a lot of weapons, a lot of faces of it. You got the feminism as a face of it, the LGBT movement as a face of it. There's a lot of different, they got a lot of costumes, but when you take it off, when you go to like the wizard, they take off the wizard. It's the same person behind that. So I think we get caught up in the different groups. It's just really confusion. I think the patriarchy was always against keeping your man and woman down, and black women for some reason think that the patriarchy is some joining up the hip of males all over the world. No, that's what white women sold y'all, because what was happening to them wasn't happening to all women all over the world. It was happening to them. They recruited all women all over the world to join into something to create a conflict that they never even had with their man. So the patriarchy, black women need to separate black men from that entire dialogue. Like now, we have nothing to do with that.
Wow. You have millions of black men on Twitter and on YouTube keeping their foot in the woman's neck because of the whole idea of patriarchy and repealing the 19th Amendment. And
but that's a misnomer. Black men are not speaking.
Okay,
I agree with probably the extremism you're talking about, but black men are not speaking. Their issue with black women has nothing to do with patriarchy. The issue that black men have with it may be expressed that way. It may seem that way because we keep trying to understand outside by the computer, and that's not necessarily the truth. Black men are mad because of what black women, how black men and black women really has nothing to do with the patriarchy whatsoever. It's what black women experience dealing with their woman directly. Because just like you say, you see black men saying that on the internet. There's black women. It's literally a viral clip going around of black women on thing. What's that? Clubhouse with Klan members talking about we just want you to get rid of them. I don't see black men that exists. What I'm saying is we found what we're looking for. If you want to look for black men to talk about this bullshit about black women, you're going to find it. Just like you could look for black women to say the same thing. That doesn't mean we all feel that way. And that doesn't mean the real point should get escaped. Like black women, black men are talking about black women.
Hey, I can help y'all. I can help us out real quick, Master. My bad. Hey, I can help us out real quick, man. So I got Hey, August. Hey, August, you know what? Go in there with your husband and tend to your husband. That's what you do.
I just wanted to ask him one thing.
I was just going there and tend to your husband.
Can I
got a bad. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got a question for you.
Somebody trying to talk. Is that Sean?
Yeah, that's me.
Sean, were you on a bike or something? Were you on a secret agent mission, man?
Yeah, I'm on my bike. But I've been listening to everybody, and there has been some great points that have been brought up. But we're losing the actual source of what our issues seem to be. One, divide and conquer has been the pinnacle of what has been plaguing us throughout history, and we continuously feed into it. The one reason why we aren't able to we have finances, we just don't have unity. We don't have trust enough to have unity. And that unity, all of those people that you just mentioned who have the power, what they came is they unified in some sort, whether it was the feminist movement, whether it was the LGBT, whether it was white supremacy, whatever it is, they found a common place that they can connect with one another with. And they didn't allow their personal feelings to measure or to distract from that mission. And that's where we lack pretty much always. We divide ourselves in different categories. We divide ourselves in different religions. We divide ourselves colorism. We divide ourselves in so many different places. And they just continue to feed us that division. And we keep on eating it. And we keep on making all of these excuses and things of what the issue is. The issue is that we're not unified. We don't trust one another. We have to work on it.
So
Great point. Great point. Great point.
I agree with your point. I do. I'm just simply saying we need to stick together. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And unity is everything. But it starts as us as an entity. And just like, again, we are in America. When you start a business, we know exactly the play or the proper steps into starting a business. The reason we not united is just that very fact. We also, again, one point, nobody's spending $2 trillion annually, right? And divided. That is, to me, is that in itself is crazy how we can say that.
We do it. We do it every day. What are you talking about? We're not united in our spending. So the point that I'm making, you just made it as well, is that you said that we need to.
Somebody got background noise going on. Who got the background noise?
That is August. Yeah, I told her she need to go tell her husband. That's what she need to do.
We got to mute August.
Something. So what I was saying is you made the point, which was we need to come together. But what is it that we have that is our unification? Like LGBT, they have their sexuality that they have in common, or their obscure sexuality. Women have the woman, the female that is their connector. And we can go on down the line. What is our connector? We don't have that.
We have this, bro.
Being black,
that's what I'm talking about. Anybody with that defeated mindset and you didn't already hit the brick wall, you sit back, relax. Those of us who ain't hit the brick wall and we're going to keep thinking, we're going to keep sharpening our sword. I got one leg, I got one eye, I ain't got no teeth. I done been bashed upside the head and we still going out here to fight. You hear me? I don't want to hear that defeated mindset. Hold on, brother. Listen, I'm not subscribing to white supremacy.
Well, you just caused the division that I'm talking to.
Use everything. We can't use a defense of the gay people and how they move.
Once again, you're dividing us right now.
We can't use feminism and how they did. That's two people beneath us.
We use it as an example.
As black men,
that's what they have more power than us. They have more power than us. Why is that?
Women and no, they have more power than you. You got
no, they have more power than you. You can't say no. They have more power than us collectively.
This is not an argument. Listen, Sean, I'm not trying to argue with you, brother.
No, what I'm saying is they have more power than us collectively.
No, they have more power than you. You got to keep saying you.
Okay,
they don't have more power than me.
No, because I'm not dividing you and I. You are.
No,
that's why
you keep saying they have more power than us.
Exactly. I know what I said.
You're lumping me in saying that I'm devalued. So
no, I'm not. No, that's your mindset. I'm connecting you with me. I'm not saying nothing about you. I'm connecting you with me.
We're the men.
That's what I'm saying. And you're dividing us.
Follow the gays. I'm a man.
And you're dividing us.
Don't even speak their name. Don't even bring them up.
Well, creator, you speaking from an emotional standpoint.
Bro, cut that shit
I don't like what he said, so don't say that to me. It's a standpoint. They have more power when they blunt. You spoke for a minute, man. Hold on, man. They have more power. They have more. I don't dig all that.
Hold on, one at a time. Coil, it's on you. And then Creator, you can retort, and then Sean could get in there. This ain't no Royal Rumble. I don't need the clicks. I don't need the views. I don't need none of this shit.
Respect. Yeah, I ain't on. Listen, bro. Real quick. I'm me. I ain't for no clicks and views and all that.
No, brother, I'm not talking about you, bro. I'm talking about how people just let motherfuckers go crazy. I'm not gonna do that. Because I'm illa. So that's what I'm saying. So even though I respect your passion, I don't want people to misconstrue your passion and say, oh, Creator just went crazy. Creator just speaking with passion. Because if I sit back and just let y'all go at it, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say,
Creator goes goddamn wild out.
When you said a lot of real stuff. So I'm defending all parties involved. I don't want none of our messages to be misconstrued for a clickable moment. That's what I'm saying. So it's not an attack against you. I'm just saying I don't never want y'all to feel like I'm trying to catch y'all like that. I want people to hear what y'all saying, not just the theatrics, because they're trying to pigeonhole y'all when y'all said a lot of real stuff. So the floor is on Coil. It's gonna swing back to you, Creator. It's on you, baby.
Shit, man. I was.
Man, you gotta put that weed down, brother. I be trying to help you out, man.
Nah, man.
No, let him think it out. For real, let him think it out.
I gotta come around more often because we don't come around more often. Niggas,
the door's open, baby. Everybody that pulled up tonight, you can pull up whenever. Like if I let you up, then you good. You gotta pass. You know what I'm saying? Just show love in the chat. but you can pull up. I love
It's
people
hard.
that think. No, the passion is cool. We just got to keep it respectful.
Yeah. So I'm not arguing what he's saying. I'm just simply saying I don't want us to keep going back to these other movements, even with my man, what ma'am said, and I don't want us to go. So black patriarchy is just that. That's us, what we do, uninhibited. Ain't nobody else infiltrated, came in. We not bouncing off somebody else's idea and ideology. We create our own. We black men, when we go to the bathroom, ain't nobody else in there but us. Black women, when we go to the bathroom, ain't nobody in there but us, right? So I don't need to go call the gays, right, when I'm ready to wipe. I don't need to go call nobody else when I'm ready to do my thing. You understand? They not there. So I have our own plan, my own idea. We have our own way of doing things. We don't have to reflect to a degree. Yes, look at your past. But I think I have to always ask, even in everything that you reflected on, how is it doing for you right this instant?
Hey, creator, watch
man,
this
that
real
has
quick. I
nothing to
think
do
this is
with-
what Sean is saying, right? This is what Sean is saying. I wouldn't give my 3-year-old $50,000 cash. Because if I gave my 3-year-old $50,000 cash, he don't know what the hell is going on. So even though you might have 50,000, but you don't know what to do with it. So Sean is basically saying, what you're saying is, okay, we're spending trillions of dollars a year. Cool. But what Sean is saying is that, hey, we're not united in our spending. That's what's hurting us as a people. That's all he's saying, creator.
I agree. And that's
And,
why
and he's also saying that what is that thing, that identifying thing that we could unite around? Because when you look at the raw numbers, if Black America was its own country, it'd be the 16th largest country based on that spending than any country in the world. That's ahead of Saudi Arabia, and that's ahead of any other Black country in the world. We'd be the 16th largest. So how do you, because when he say, I disagree slightly when he say we don't have the power, but I do agree with what you're saying, Blue Ray. We have the power, but we don't know what to do with it. And that's what the brother Algorithm is saying as well, is that when you look at these other groups and you saw how they was able to build on top of the coalition that they already had at the foundation, they was able to put a focus to that power and actually realize that power. So I'm just saying, just to add to what the conversation is that we have to look at what are the things that we could unite around, and how do you put that $2 trillion that would make us the 16th largest country into effect, so that actually works for us and it's just not dispersed everywhere. So that's what I want to posit.
Absolutely.
So you have a go ahead, Sean. I ain't gonna hog. I ain't gonna hog the mic.
Only thing I want to add to that is I'm not saying that we don't have the capability of having the power, or we don't have the resources of the power. It shows that we do have power, but the power is the influence, and the power comes from unification. And that's why I use the other groups who are less than us in numbers, or less than us in monetary ability. That's why they're able to excel the way they did. And I'm using that as an example for us to really take heed of, not to compare ourselves to, or to take heed of, so that we can flex our power, we can identify our value, and we can put our values together so that we can, like he said, become the 16th most powerful unit within the world.
Country.
So I get it. And I'm not trying to knock what we're saying. I just don't want to, nobody's ever been through what we've been through, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't compare, like a gay person is still a white person. So if they sitting in some type of systematic system, don't nobody got to know that person gay. He's still a white person. So they still can make moves. A woman can still be a white person. So if she's a feminist, she's still a white feminist. She still has position. She still can make decisions. She has influence in her position. We, on the other hand, are not in positions all over the world. I'm saying Black Americans. Can't even start talking, even the African. I'm talking about the Black American. And how do we get in everybody's household? How do you do that? You finance them, just like Klarna or Affirm or Chase or PNC or any of other these entities. When you're trying to buy something, they offer you a way for you to pay it, right, long term, so that we can make money off the interest of that 1-point-some-odd trillion dollars. I'm gonna say it again, so that we can make interest. Hold on, the interest off of that 1 point some. How much interest are we making off that 1-point-some trillion now?
But that's what Blu-ray is saying. Blu-ray is saying if you want to do that, that's okay. but you need to know what we're doing. You need to have the education level, or you need to have the knowledge to do the things that will materializes that. At least that's what I thought Blu-ray was saying.
It don't take a smart genius. It just takes, if I know something, like he said, he came to me right and respectfully, like a brother. He like, bro, before you, because I know he's like, hold on, don't even move forward until you know about what's going on over here. You're gonna lose your money. And I totally get it, right? But what I'm saying, but on top of
that, brother, earlier in the discussion when it was me, Blu-ray, and Illa, one of the things me and Blu-ray was establishing was the fact that and one of the things that Illa we always talking about is why knowing the past, and I think that also is something Algorithm could speak to, why knowing the past is important, because you don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past, because every time we try to do certain things like that, we are met with opposition from those who don't want to see us successful. So we have to be crafty and intelligent about how we move forward and how we execute these things.
Agree. You don't stick your chest out, right? When you get your money, stay low, maintain low key, you get your thing. But I'm saying more importantly, how many of us own homes? Did you have a problem? Did you have anybody standing in your way, blocking you from you buying your house?
Most of the home ownership that was achieved over the years, all the way up past the civil rights, got wiped out in black wealth in the 2008 housing crisis.
Okay,
see what I'm saying?
I get it. So then now we move a different way, right? Because again, we was talking about mortgages, right? They hold your mortgage. But what if you already own your home and you don't have a mortgage, meaning now no one can take you? What is that? That's called value. You can't take my house from me because I own my homes.
They will take your house. They will take your house through eminent domain.
Bro, listen, I can be scared of everything. I can walk outside and I can get shot. I can walk outside, somebody can hit me upside the head.
If you own the home flat out with no mortgage, they can take it through eminent domain like they did through Red.
But how many? Like, okay, so hold
on.
Is there an
They did this already
right now?
They did that already. A lot of black communities got highways built right through the middle of them.
Facts.
And they were taken through eminent domain.
Let me explain something.
What I'm saying.
I get it, right? And I'm not saying. I'm not coming in, and I get it.
I'm not giving reasons why we shouldn't. I'm just giving
I
things
get
we
it.
should be
The
aware
warning
of.
signs, right? Algo is talking the same thing. Know your past, so we know how to move forward. And I get it. If y'all the ones that know how to move forward, I'm a forward thinker. I'm thinking 10 years ahead where I want to be, and I'm executing that. Now, little bro might see me. Right, I'm not great at everything. It's why we have women in our lives. It's why we got bros in our lives that do things that to keep those of us who just be moving. We gotta have people in your life that can kind of that know where to direct that energy, that know how to focus that energy. I'm not saying we know everything, and I definitely don't. I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. You hear me? So that's why I put myself
this right here,
around
creative. I give you this right here.
Real quick, brothers. Look, y'all in the chat. Please show love and donate to the channel. Get the likes up. We having a real dope conversation. If we was up here talking about black women's weave or
my God,
dumb shit like that, y'all be making it rain in this motherfucker. Not saying I gotta make me rich like that, but support.
Hey. My bad. You gotta get your money. My bad.
Support the channel. You know what I mean? Show love. You know what I'm saying? We having quality conversations. Share the content, hit the like button. If nothing else, please subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you can donate, that's fine. If you can't, that's great. Please subscribe and please share the likes. But we not passing around a trash basket. This is not that type of party. So please show love. Please show love.
Yo, I don't.
Donation. I thought it was a trash. Don't be hitting on me.
It's not a trash basket, man. You know what I mean? So show love.
Let me say this to creative. So creative. I'm gonna give you a great example. Elon Musk was in an interview, right? And they was talking to him and they was speaking. They asked him, they was like, yo, Elon, all these things that you're doing, you're good at it. What if you decided to get into the grocery game? What would you do? He said, I would literally go into my competitor's grocery store, figure out how he's running his operation, and repeat the same thing. Literally, he said, there's no need for me to reinvent the wheel. Exactly. I can do the exact same thing and actually build something successful versus trying to do it my way and failing along the way when the instructions are there. This is the way it's been done, and this is the way it's been done successfully.
By who?
And this is how you keep. People, history have shown you every group that tried to do it the way that you're speaking of had their downfalls getting to that. If we have the ability to see these things and see that it didn't work this way properly, why not have a better choice? You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this because it failed every single time in history. Let me go ahead and do this because this is what's actually been working.
So what are you saying failed? What, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, I'll give you a great example. Back to the feminist movement. It started in 1848. It failed for 72 years and it finally got a vote. Right? If they finally got a chance to vote in 1920. Then they realized, God damn, we can't do this on our own. Now that we got the vote and now that we have some type of political sway, let's go ahead and recruit. And that's exactly what they did. They recruited multiple women, not just white women. They recruited multiple women. And what ended up happening, their movement became stronger. And when it became stronger, their voices became stronger. And same thing with the alphabet community. It was just probably one entity. Then when they combined everything, their union became stronger. It became more powerful. History repeats itself. When the person just try to do things just one way and not revisit history to figure out how to continue to build something successfully, it fails along the way. It takes longer to get to what you're trying to get to. So we need to learn from those particular things. And by learning, I understand earlier you say you look 10 years into the future, but I need you to look 100 years into the past. That way, those 10 years that you're looking into, you probably could get it done in 5, just because you took the time and the due diligence to figure out what other groups have done and was absolutely wrong about, so I won't repeat those mistakes.
All right, go ahead, August.
Okay, so my question to you, sir, like, there's so many things to take apart from your argument, but my first thing would ask you, if your grandmother or your great grandmother had access to the internet and TikTok and Facebook and all that crap that we have today, do you think she would have stayed with your cheating ass granddaddy and all that stuff? I'm just asking you. That's a yes or no.
I don't think that had anything to do with the actual subject matter. So I won't respond to it unless we're switching the subject.
I gotta jump in there.
Yeah, she would have stayed because his Mackin would have been stronger.
No, hold on, because everybody keeps saying, hold on, just
Miss August.
I promise you guys, I will be quiet for the rest of the panel. Just let me get
They're
this
trying
out.
to save you, August. They're trying to save you.
Quiet, because I don't want everybody to be quiet. Peace to Masa. Masa have to
Okay,
go.
but I'm just trying to get this out real. You guys can do it.
I need you. I need you to hold on, please, because I'm.
All right.
At 12 o'clock. We got about a few more minutes now. I'm gonna shut it down. Appreciate everybody pulling up, but it's not about not letting you talk because I want everybody to talk. I don't want nobody to be quiet. But I just feel like what you said is just way off of what we talking about. Like this is not. I know this is I know this space is full of relationship conversations, but we ain't talking about that tonight. I don't want to talk about the gender war. We want to talk about the bigger picture. We want to talk about the things that we need to do that's beyond that, because the gender war is a side effect of bigger issues. Like, I don't want to, this ain't that show. We're not about to take 20-30 minutes to talk about feminism and women under the foot of black men like that. We ain't doing that. So that's not what we
No, but that was my point though.
But that's not that. But that we ain't talking about that, because what you talking about is just going to allude to a conversation that's going to lead to men versus women, and I don't want that. We already know the lines is. We know what y'all want from us. Hopefully, y'all know what we want from y'all. But so as far as trying to pick and choose, if women couldn't win, black men always love black women.
Do you as a man know what us women want from you as a person?
It depends on the.
Y'all don't even know. How you gonna know? How you gonna? Y'all don't even know what I want.
It's segue. Let's not let it segue.
Let me ask him that question. Do you as a man, Big Polly, I'm sorry, I'm not reading your name correctly because I can't see. But what I'm asking you is, do you as a man know what your woman would, or what a woman would want from you specifically? I'm not talking about 6K and 6 feet tall.
Every woman wants different things from every man specifically. It's hard to see what a group of women want specifically.
Most women want security. Most women want security.
Security.
How that guy is yelling in the chat right now, saying, "Yeah,
Bro, nobody cares about the chat, man. Hold on, man. Hold on.
No, I'm not saying. I'm talking about the guy right there. Right there.
Security. So how do we provide that? That's what
Bro,
we
hold
get
on,
right
hold
now.
on, man. Stop.
Is we're offering how to provide
Bro.
security
Stop.
to our community.
Nigga, my nigga. Am I not talking, bro? Can you not hear me?
Is this your page, brother?
All right, look, y'all, I don't like the contentious energy. So this is what we're gonna do.
Go ahead.
Iola's gonna respond. Creator's gonna respond. If August got one little last statement, she can respond. I'm gonna swing it to Pearl, Algorithm, Sean, and Blu-ray, and then I'm gonna have the benediction. All
Go
right,
ahead,
so-
Kyle, because you've been trying to get in there. I ain't trying to be rude, though, my nigga. Real shit. Just be patient, brother. I got you.
Man, go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead, bro. For real, brother.
It's on you. I'm telling you, it's on you. You got it.
I said what I said, man. Go ahead.
I didn't even hear what you said.
All right, well, so
Can we address that? Can you please, sir? I beg of you to speak your. I beg of you to speak your point. I beg of you to speak your point because we have a tendency to dismiss when we get in our direction. And I beg of you, ignore anything that triggered you, and please share what you was gonna share.
Respect.
I'm not triggered, man. Niggas just be doing too much, and I'm off that shit, man.
But listen, like I said, this is my show, and I want to hear what you got to say. I didn't hear it, so I
I
don't
do
know.
too, Khalil. I want to
After
hear
all that,
shit.
bro. After all of this, my nigga, it don't even matter, bro. I can't even remember, bro.
All right,
Yeah.
next, bro.
This is like an ongoing thing for you, brother. You come up off the mic to interrupt me, and then you can't even remember what the fuck
nigga,
I'm talking about.
See, now you want to go back and forth, nigga. I was trying to talk, and you kept fucking talking, nigga. The fuck is wrong with you, dog? Did I not just say that?
Your brain and remembering what it is you got.
I'm done talking, bro. I'm good.
Brothers. Let us reason together. All right. Look. I'm not. That's not what I'm on. Hopefully, y'all can have a better conversation next time. Unfiltered, you want to jump in there, and then Miss Pearl is on you.
All right. I don't know if I'm commenting on what August said or the actual subject matter. I could comment on what she said if that's what's needed.
Let's go to the subject.
Okay, I think it's better. All right. Like I said earlier, and I think I landed properly when it came to it. It wasn't me degrading any movement. What it was is me pointing out in history they thought they can do it a particular way, and they realized that they needed more than what they actually had. And can you imagine? Let's use the feminist movement again. If they move the way they move right now, back in the 1800s, the movement will be even stronger than what it is right now, and stuff like that. So what we have to look at as a people, to think that we're going to say, I'm FBA, I'm African, I'm Jamaican, I'm this, and I'm going to do this thing all by myself with this particular group, it doesn't work that way. Everyone would hope for it to work that way, but it just doesn't work that way.
I agree.
And it's sad. It's sad that it may take a fourth wave for you to actually see the reality. When just using the feminist movement, it took them 72 years to even get the vote. 1848 to 1920, they was actually able to literally vote. And then from that, they built this thing called the feminist movement. And this is why they at where they're at and have the power and the ability of influence on what they're doing right now. And the same thing goes for the LGBT community. Same thing went for white supremacy. All of these movements started off somewhere. Now, guess what? You don't hear a white guy saying, well, you're Russian, so you're not this, or you're from Italy, so you're not white. You don't hear that. You only hear that in the black community.
Can I ask you a question then in reference to that?
Hopefully it's on topic. Let's go.
So I just want to ask you, so let's just say if from the Adam and Eve stage, men have been running running stuff. So with feminism, that came with women. Now they have the ball in their court, and now they're making the dunk shots and everything like that. Men have been, hold on, men have been like making the 3-point shots and everything like that since the beginning of time. What is the issue? What is that whole actual issue with women picking up the ball in the fourth quarter and now they making the jump shot? What's that issue?
I'm responding to that. First of all, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna try to understand it. As far as women shooting a jump shot, like what it women are not under no control. It's like, are you married? Do you have a man? Do you have a man in your life?
What would that have to do with the answer to that question?
Can you answer the question and then ask the question?
Because you speak from a perspective as if men are a detriment to your life. So I want to know if there's one in your life.
She's married. She has a stay-at-home husband.
Every question you ask is an antagonist conversation between men and women. We're talking about culture. We're talking about global economics. We're talking about solutions for the upliftment of our people on a global level. And you seem to keep bringing the conversation back to men and women. And men are jealous that women are shooting the shots. Let me tell you something. Women are not making any shots. Being able to get a house, being able to make money. No. I heard you talk. Women being able to buy things and own things is not making shots. We're talking about something that's bringing us together. You're trying to.
Can I explain my point so that we can get a better
I mean, but we already got the understanding. You don't have the understanding. You're speaking from a group of women that wants women to be pedestalized over the group of people. And that's not what this ain't the page for that. There's plenty of panels. We can go on there and spew that feminist shit. And I'm not with that shit. It's not that channel. I don't need I don't need none of that shit. If you can't be on topic of the conversation and come to a conclusion that's all inclusive, this ain't the channel for you. Shout out to Ali for bringing y'all here, but y'all can go over there with that shit. I don't really give a fuck about that conversation. If all you want to talk about is women being oppressed, this ain't the color purple.
Hey, respectfully. Hold on, Miss Pearl. I got her, Miss Pearl. Listen, listen. I met her on Ali platform. Matter of fact, me and Ali met her the same day. That's why I kept saying, August, go tend to your husband. She got a whole husband. Go in there and get a nigga some head or something. Like, go deal with your husband instead of being on here. Like, go talk to your husband. That's all I'm saying.
It's on you, Miss Pearl. Are men stopping you? Are we the bane of your existence, Miss Pearl? You got it.
The algorithm. He's so funny. Okay, let me get back on point.
My whole existence is not contingent.
I need you to mute her.
My head, I give it to my husband.
Go ahead, you got it.
So a different woman's perspective. I am not a feminist. I don't agree with the movement. And the reason why I don't agree with the movement is because I stand on what I said. We as women's rights, we were already fighting for what we call civil rights, which were our human rights. We were never supposed to fall for that okie doke and go on that white woman's side and still start talking about women's rights. We were literally still fighting for civil rights. Our men were still being lynched and killed, right? And oppressed and discriminated against. So we're still under the umbrella of still fighting for human rights. I just find it so hypocritical that black women in particular, just like I find black men when they speak about patriarchy, we don't have human rights, right? So we got to come from up under that. That's an illusion. That's still Eurocentric, and we don't need to be discussing that. The point of the matter is there is still patriarchy, colonialism, and capitalism, and it's still undertones, right, of racism and sexism. We know that already. But our point as people, when we get away from patriarchy and feminism, because I just feel like that's another way for them to create divisiveness in our community, just like that red pill, blue pill. That's just like Democrat and Republican. Now all of a sudden you're a conservative and a liberal. It's just still contrarian points to pull us apart. What we should be focused on as black men and black women is what that term black even means, which Illa already said Monday of the discussion for that. So we've already been denationalized. We need to focus on what that means, right? We've been colonized, so we need to decolonize, right? So for us to keep speaking about our rights, shouldn't be a man or women. It should just be our human rights, which again, we're still literally fighting for. We're still being killed on the street. Our kids are being slaughtered. So I think that that's just unnecessary. And it just creates, again, more divisiveness, and it keeps continuing to point fingers at us as opposed to the system and the conglomerate and the hegemony that is present, right? So I want us to stop doing that so much. Like, we women, we have a lot of power that we don't use because we see words like submission, right, as emotionally triggering. And I think that those are still some sensitivities due to like slavery and oppression. And that's why we hang up on feminism, because I got to fight for my rights. And again, I get that point, but again, it's still human rights, right? So I just think we get really petty, and we feed into that, not just the algorithm, we still feed into that system. And until we really recognize that we're not supposed to be fighting each other, we're not. We need to come back together. People be saying that like, oh, we got to unify. That's true. But a lot of our mentalities are just so disrupted. A lot of us are incurable at this point. Like, we can't even have a conversation without people trying to dominate the conversation, without people trying to dismiss what you're saying. We can't have conversations without people trying to minimize what you're saying. And we're clearly on here as men, as women. And we're still having some divisiveness. So I just feel like we got to stop playing and get real about the situation and have real brave conversations. And they don't revolve around patriarchy and feminism, because we're still Black people who need to be discussing denationalization and what that means to us. And then we need to be nationalizing ourselves. So we need to unify based off of that. So I think we just I'm getting tongue-tied. I think we just need to get our minds right and stop wasting time with all this petty shit, because it's repetitive, it's redundant. And again, it's not getting us anywhere. So I don't want to keep talking. I'm gonna land my plane, but I'm just tired of that.
Go ahead, Cole. Bro, let's be real. He's trying to get in here. Let him go.
Man, relax.
Ms. Pearl, a question, please. I planned you. I promise you, I will land plane.
Make it quick.
Okay, I'll make it quick.
Man, hell no. She can't, bro. You heard how she talking?
I just want to ask Ms. Pearl, what is the definition of feminism, please?
No.
We gotta say. Go ahead, Kyle. She ain't know what we just said, man.
It's co-will, and we going.
I wanted to ask Ms. Pearl, what's the definition? Why y'all won't let me talk though?
Because you're trying to derail the conversation, and now you're trying to.
I am not. She just made a
sisterhood out of her. You're trying, we know. She made it clear where she's at. You're trying to cause us girls got to stick together thing. We all together. It's not a women versus men panel. We already know what feminism did. We already know what it means. There's no clarity needed on this panel. Maybe on other panels, but on this panel, we think over it. This philosophical radio. We ain't on no mundane shit. We already know who started that movement. We already know who it affected. The feminist movement was never started based on a conflict between Black men and Black women. That's a fact. So for us to keep
so can I say why I asked that question though?
It's irrelevant. I'm sorry. Kyle, you got it, bro. It's on you.
As far as the bigger conversation, pause. I think America tricked us into believing this unity shit. I mean, yeah, we gotta stick together. I'm not saying unity is bullshit. I'm saying it's the same shtick, bro, for the last 60, 70 years. It's like we still saying that after they both died, all of us on this panel was basically summarized to say what Martin Luther King and what Malcolm X has been said and what other people has been saying, bro. It's like, if that's really what's gonna fix it, we would know that will fix it. It's like, dog, what? It's like they keep showing us imagery that got us going the wrong way. So we gotta stick together. So I'm not saying.
Oh man, the brother froze. But brother, I hear I don't know what he was. I'm not gonna assume, but it seemed like he was alluding to a conversation that basically we heard all the information, but why we not making that move? We're not moving forward. I don't think we understand what really happened to us. And just because because a lot of us came after it all transpired. We didn't grow up on crack. We didn't shoot dope. We wasn't slaves. So
unity is not it. But they tricking us.
He's back now. You went out for a minute, so run it back, bro. You went out for a minute, so come back. You froze.
Yeah, my bad.
You good?
Yeah,
Take it from the top.
But yeah, they just got us tricked into going the wrong way psychologically, some type of way. Like I don't know what exact, so I can't exactly say what it is. But if it was unity and sticking together as black people and spending the black dollar the right way, like we know that. That's not. This ain't the first time we've talked about it. This ain't the first time that none of us have heard it. So really, what is it? What is it?
It's a lot of things, and I think we grow impatience because it's like, well, I figured it out. Why can't he figure it out? Why can't she figure it out? This thing, like this is a book that I like to refer to a lot of people. And it was actually brought up against me, which was ironic that a person used this book to go up against me. And I'm talking about history, but that's neither here nor there. The title of this book is called The Destruction of Black Civilization. Great Issues of a Race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD. That's approximately 6,499 years that ended in the year 2000. The year is 2025, which means what? We're only 25 years removed from a $6,000 movement, 6,000 year movement. So I don't know about y'all, but I don't think we're going to figure out how to overcome something that strenuous in 25 years. I think we need a little more empathy. I think we need a little more patience. And I think we got to realize that most of these conversations we're having is with older people. We're older. We're already set in our ways. We need to be talking and catering the conversation to make it open, not just for people who are stuck in their ways. Like we just had a woman on the panel. No matter what we talked about, she brought it back to the same old shit. Older people, 45, 35 and older, they're stuck on vagina and penis conversations. We got to cater our conversation for a broader audience, including the fucking youth. No one's talking from a perspective from a young person who's trying to figure it out. We're talking to old men who their minds are made up about black women, and we're talking to old women whose minds are made up about black men. That is a waste of time. And if you're thinking that that's your audience, then you're right, Coel. There is no use. But I don't think about that. When I speak, I'm speaking as if somebody who don't know nothing is listening to me. I don't assume. We got to stop thinking about these panelists and realizing that our messages are going further than you would ever imagine. Like sometimes I make posts, it'd be somebody I never even heard of, never even seen before. It may not even be black that's reposting something. You don't know how far your message is going. So I think when we talk and when we speak, and what I try to implement on my channel is I try to speak as if younger people who didn't necessarily go through all of this traumatic things to make them so conclusive on the opposite sex. I speak as if they might be listening. And most people on these panels are not doing that. Older people don't change the world. Youth does. The youth are always always be the future. Africa is the youngest continent, youngest population in the world. So whether we want to deal with it or not, they're the future to a degree. Not to jump into that conversation, but youth is where the power is, not in old age. Older people should have the wisdom, but as you can see, they don't have it. So people who are wise enough to have the information must cater their messages to younger people. And I'm gonna land my plane. Anybody want to jump in there?
But even with the wisdom, though, I just think the wisdom that we getting is steering us the wrong way, bro. Like
That's
I think
wisdom, because wisdom can't steer you the wrong way. What wisdom can't steer you the wrong way. People don't have.
Okay, when I say wisdom, I said the wrong word. I said the wrong word. The teachings, the things that we think will get us to where we need to be as a people. I think we all mixed up. Like we think we gotta put our money together, do this, do that. I don't know what it is.
Do it all. That's the thing. We have to do it all. But this the thing. We can't listen, man. We got to show a little more. I get the frustration. We all tired of this shit, but it wasn't always like this. And it's not like it just happened out of the blue. But people think it's going to be fixed out of the blue. That's my issue with our people. This took a long time to bring forth, but we want an instant result. That's not how it goes. It's going to take time, but it's going to take empathy. We need to put empathy in our message. You can have passion. You can speak with frustration. You can speak fervently, but there's no empathy in these messages. It's just, people fucked up. Bro, you see what the fuck happened to niggas? Like it's literally a paper trail from slavery up until now of mad things that made us have to always reset. If you look at, this is how I look at life, right? When I look at people, when I look at black women, I don't look at individuals. I look at them as one body politic. Because we look at people from a macrocosm, it's easier to see the issue than you look at it from a micro level. In other words, I'm looking at individual black people. I'm going to see laziness. I'm going to see a lot of different contradictory things that individually they have to hold themselves a standard to. But if I look at the entire black race as one person, that person did everything. And that person is tired, and that person has mental problems, and that person is extremely fatigued from not just a physical war, not just an economic war, but a spiritual war. And I know that's a word that people don't like to use in this context. They only like to use it religiously, but we are in a spiritual war, in spiritual fucking warfare, and we've been in that warfare for a long time. And it's hard to make a determination on the effects of something that you don't even know has happened to you. Like right now, it's radiation coming into our rooms and in our bedrooms. You don't know the effects it's having on you because you can't even recognize it happening to you. So look at the things that we haven't even recognized that's happening to us. How do you respond to something you don't even know you're a victim of? Like I was talking on the panel a couple weeks ago. A long time growing up, I grew up in the 80s. I was born in the 80s. Drinking water was a punishment. Think about that. Drinking water was a punishment when you was a child. The beneficial thing was juice, Kool-Aid, shit that'll rot your fucking brain, literally. Smoking cigarettes just in the last 20 years became something that wasn't done publicly. They used to smoke on buses. They used to smoke in restaurants. These are basic things that affect how people think, how they look at it, that we just overlook and think we're just going to come out of this. Like, it's so many things we have to come out of to have this impatience with each other.
The first thing we got to do is understand go ahead, Cole. Go ahead, Cole.
The thing is, bro, we've been coming out of it since Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, man. Like since before that, but niggas is still doing the same shit and talking about the same thing and having the same.
What else has been happening at this? Because you're talking about an effect. You're talking about an effect. You keep saying, but what keeps causing that effect?
No. Okay, well, see. Okay, so now you got it. I'm gonna say you got it wrong. Maybe I'm not explaining a little bit more. Yeah, black people. They have been putting other things in front of the black community, and we have been choosing those and not choosing those. Yeah. I mean, you're totally right. But what I'm saying is, throughout the years, how the hell haven't we figured out how to negate that? And that's what I'm saying, because we're thinking that it's some unity or putting our money together or doing this and doing that, and that's why I'm saying we got it fucked up. Because no matter what they do, we come back a little bit, then they do it again. If motherfuckers really learn it, like, how can they keep doing this to a people and they not get the picture? Like, if you keep hitting a dog, it's going, once you put your hand up, it's gonna move. So how the hell is we not moving every time they come and try to put their hand up?
Because they convinced a lot of your people to do their work. You don't. Most of the issues you got to deal with, you got to go through your own to even get to the source. So it's a lot of our own that we got to fight that they've convinced. So it's a sickness.
We got to reprogram people.
We have a spiritual sickness, bro, and you got to reprogram people. That's why I say you have to deal with the youth. And I'm not religious, but the Bible says you have to be ye transformed by what? The renewing of your mind. So how the fuck we going to help anybody when we got to argue with grown black men and black women about just fucking reading? There's no way we're going to find some type of remedy. We're not going to argue with niggas about reading and being literate.
And let me say this right here. Let me say this right here. If I want to confuse you, I just put somebody in front of you that you like. They do it all the time. They play on your ignorance. And I'm going to give you a great example. And I hope I don't ruin this movie for anybody. But I'm going to give you a great example. No, I'm going to give you a great example. We've all seen that movie called what's the name of that movie with Jamie Foxx? Law Abiding Citizen.
Clone Tyrone. Clone.
No. Law Abiding Citizen.
Which was a good one. They Clone Tyrone was a good motherfucking movie.
Yeah. Listen, Law Abiding Citizen. We all seen this particular movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look how they played on our ignorance. They had the DA running in, because Jamie Foxx was the DA, running in with a gun in a government building with law enforcement following him. Law enforcement was following all his cues as a DA. And we like Jamie Foxx so much, we like, man, this movie dope, but not realizing that it made no logical sense for the person who was actually getting, who they was going after, an attorney making all the moves for the entire law enforcement on on, okay, we're gonna do this, and at the end, he magically deleted the guy at the end as the district attorney. But we couldn't focus on that. We was focusing on, hey, this is just a good movie. This is happening. This is happening. It was a play on our intelligence to see where we even focus on what was actually going on and how much sense did it make for the DA to be the person to actually be acting as law enforcement versus acting as DA in that particular zone. Another thing that tricks us, because women love hair removal. I was at work one time watching a bunch of people looking at the TV, watching this person doing hair removal, and it was like, oh man, that laser hair removal thing works. I said, they're tricking you. Are you paying attention? They say, what are you talking about? I say, who shaves with makeup on? That lady has makeup on and she's removing hair. Come on, man, it's a play on you. But we sit here and we will be ignorant to things that we like and think the people who we want to see. And they play on that, because I could easily control you by putting the things in front of you that you like and the people who you like in front of you. And they do it all the time.
Distractions all the time. So, but I like, so, and I get it. Those are distractions. But a lot of times what it is we got D students, right? We got A students who we thought were A students, but they really D students. And we got D students who think that they A students, if that makes sense. Meaning we got people in position that should not be in certain positions. And because algorithm, is in a white tee, and you know what I'm saying? He's not going to, he got to be in a whole shirt and tie, and he got to be suited and booted. And you know what I'm saying? He got to look the part in order for people to even get past the information that forget what he looked like. What is he saying? Is the information usable that's coming out of his mouth? And I think with our people, like he said, it always has to be some type of distraction. There always we have to, like you said, if we put a nice buffoonery, some coonery and buffoonery into it, everybody is familiar with coonery and buffoonery. But if we have somebody come to the chalkboard and do a math problem, everybody ain't ready to volunteer to do that. You get what I'm saying? And that's really what it comes down to, brother.
And we have to be realistic about the culture that we've allowed to fester. And it's like we only want to deal with the intelligent person when it benefits us personally in that moment. In every other aspect of life, intelligence is dismissed. Like I said, when I came in this space, people laughed because I actually brought books. I literally had a grown man ask me, "Yo, what's the point of learning your history? Like what's the point of learning where you come from?" Like that's a grown black man asked me that question. So it's like, if that's what's on these panels, that's why I feel like I got to do what I'm doing to a degree. Because it's like, yo, these panels be getting mad people watching these shits. And you got 300-400 people just watching niggas argue about nothing. You got 400-500 people, like, they feel like subscriber count means that they're valid. Like, you could scratch your ass every day and go live. If you do that shit at 5 o'clock every day, you're going to be in the algorithm. It's niggas that got pages of fart pranks that get mad views. Do that mean that's relevant? No, they do it all the time. So if you do something all the time, this algorithm, it'll pick you up. It doesn't necessarily mean what you're saying has some value or anything. So most people in this space, it's a popularity thing. And in some cases, if we're talking about popularity, then maybe popularity matters. But if we're talking about real issue with our people, I think even if you're popular, if you got some real information, that's what should matter. Not just because you have a popular opinion. Like, what is your sources? Where you get your information from? And then when you bring up books, people say stupid shit like, well, it's just a book. You can get anything out of a book. It's like, yo, every time we go into a certain walk of life, a certain field, they give us a manual or some type of transcript to understand what you're dealing with. But for some reason, when it comes to the most tampered with thing, which is our culture and our history, education and scholarship is definitely required for that. So it go back to
that scared to come up to the chalkboard, or I don't even know what y'all talking about. So the easiest thing for me to discuss is I'm gonna go back to what I know, and what most of us know is drama. Well, that's easy to talk about. That ain't math, right? I'm not asking anybody to figure out some interest for the next 30 plus years on $100,000 mortgage, right? We ain't talking about that. We don't even have those discussions within as men in the community. Because like at the Thanksgiving table, at the Christmas, opening up gifts, we don't have finance conversation. If we had finance conversation, then things would be totally different in our community. It ain't like we not smart. I'll be seeing what's the dude, Jay Prince for president. Very intelligent young man. He's butting on y'all. Very intelligent young man. But it would be looked upon him as everybody else looking at him like because he's on or a situation and how he talk that he's stupid, he's dumb, and he has nothing to contribute to society since he ain't been to college and since he's admitting that he a niggified nigga, right? So how many and I'm like, let's get beyond what people look like. Let's get beyond. Let's start talking now again, sharing strategy. Now we start talking about sharing strategy. I want to holler at niggas I know doing something. So I'm gonna listen to Blu-ray, even though he may be younger than me, but I know he a businessman, and I know as a man, as a provider, he done been through some things, right? He done been through some things.
I'm actually older than you.
What? Cut it out.
He said, what?
Cut it out. You ain't older than me, brother.
I'm older than Illa.
I got kids your age. You better quit tripping.
I hope you're older than me. I want to be younger than somebody because I keep meeting people.
You said you 40, right?
I'm probably older now, y'all up here, and it's okay though.
Okay. I'm older than 40, brother.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I ain't bragging about being old. You can have that shit.
You hear me? Hey, I just
hey, no, what I'm saying, I look young, but I'm older than 40, brother.
Yeah, well, the playerism got me looking like this, man. So, like I said, I'm older now, y'all. You understand? And it's okay. So, like I said, when we ask people to ask men, grown men, leaders of their family, what does legacy building look like to you, right? Niggas gonna talk about everything but that. If I ask a grown woman, I say, hey, baby, what does legacy building look like to you from your man? They're going to talk about everything but that because we don't talk about that. We don't discuss what legacy building is in position for, like, seriously, these are not conversations that we really have. So now that we having these conversations, somebody want to go back to feminism, right? Or want to go back to the gay, you know, and I'm like, hey, I get it. We need to know our past, but we also need to go ahead and we learn by doing. Put one foot in front of the other and walk. And now you have actual data. We don't have to depend on, to your point, books. I get it, but it's still somebody else's ideology. So sometimes it do be a little challenging. Hold on, I got you, Illa. I'm with you. I am all for education.
Pearl was trying to say something.
Hey, what he said is a fact, though, Illa. What he said is a fact.
Yeah, I'm not knocking education, but for some men, like black men, we don't want to work jobs because it's looked at as kind of feminine or following somebody else's plan. We don't want to read certain books because it's kind of looked at as following somebody else's plan. So we don't have one, right? Ain't saying we got one that's concise, but that's the way it's looked. So that's why we have this argument about the self-made man or the hood man or the man that took that chance and not to go, you know, to work that job, but to kind of now work for himself. Hold on. That has to happen as a man. You have to know how to sustain yourself and build yourself, not with the white man's, kind of with his structure, but not with his structure, if you would. Me and my woman can't work for the same person, and she's going to be like really thrilled and respectful towards me if we working and getting our check from the same individual.
Trevor, watch it. I got a question for Illa real quick. Watch it, Illa. Do you have any, and Candace Owens has a lot of books. Have you bought any of Candace Owens' books?
I mean, no, I haven't bought none of her books.
Hold on. Just rock with me. So what I'm saying, I said, I posed that question to back up what Creator is saying.
That don't back it up though, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're like talking about books, it's mad books. You got coloring books, you got fictional book. A book is a book, but what kind of books? I'm a very specific person. I'm not just talking about self-help books. I'm talking about history books.
Okay.
I'm not talking about something that's just vague based on what somebody believes, because we love talking about the Bible. That's a book. We stand by that. We don't know who wrote that. It's a million authors of that.
Better watch your mouth.
No,
watch your mouth.
He got a right to his opinion.
No, I'm just messing with him. He know what I'm talking about.
Million authors of that, but we'll stand on that and argue to the death and to the cows go home. Cool, do it. But what I'm saying is, every time I bring up history books, people be like, "Oh, it ain't just about books," but it's like to know it's not just about something. To first come to that conclusion, like boom, it's like if you hear somebody say, "Yo, you seen the new what's the name movie?" They're like, "Man, I seen that shit. Ain't even all that." You can only come to that conclusion once you've seen it. So if I'm saying that history is important, You got to be able, or you want to dismiss what I read, you have to be able to read it first.
But sometimes that's a defense mechanism, Ill.
People dismiss stuff that they
That's
never
a
even
defense
read.
mechanism.
Because my thing is this: if you see me keep talking about history books, and maybe I read something, maybe I've read things that have convicted me or compelled me to say that to the people. And until you've read what I've read, you're not. It's like you, Blu-ray. You into fitness, so can't nobody tell you that it ain't that serious. Just the fuck it is. You know why? Because I do it. I get up, I work out, and I'm living the results of a fitness-based lifestyle. So you could say and tell me what you want to tell me. I'm living the fact that if you do this, you're going to live at a higher vibration because you live it. So when I talk about what I've read and I share those sources, instead of people saying, I'm gonna check that out, they just say, I'm just saying it's a book. Did you read it though? Because maybe if you read what I read and seen what I saw, it'll create something in you to make you say, you know what? I see why he read that. I see why history matters, because it shows you a pattern of behavior. Because
but watch this,
let me finish. Now I got you. Because when most people in these conversations, right, they're bringing up black people based on what? Their behavior, black fatigue, ratchet. These are behavior-based analysis. Behaviors come from patterns of behavior. So if we're going to talk about behavior, behavior gets confirmed based on the history. You don't just say you see somebody do something multiple times, then that becomes their behavior pattern based on a history of how they acted. History is always in the part. So if we're making analysis on black people's behavior, then you have to take into account the behavior of the people that constructed the society that they live in. And when you do that, you'll realize that their behavior pattern goes back way further than yours as far as having a behavior of degeneracy, because that's what we're being accused of, being a degenerate people. But that's not who we are. That's who we've become based on an interference of another degenerate people who've always been this way. And you can only learn that through history.
But what I'm saying, and what you're saying is true. I'm not going to negate what you're saying, but I'm only going off what Creator said. If Creator says that, hey, if just because you read a book, it doesn't make it 100% facts. People can argue that. People can say it's subjective.
That's not the argument.
Hold on. Listen. What I'm saying is, brother. What I'm saying is, I'm going off what Creator said. I'm just showing you in debate. Anytime you say you read a book and a person wrote it, you can say it's subjective, regardless if you believe it's true or not. That's my only point.
Okay, but this is the problem with that point, because it alludes to somebody just saying, well, that answers it, and they won't read anything. And that's not getting us anywhere, because we don't do that with the books that we personally cherish. I don't see people do that with the Bible. Regardless of the history that book has on the literal affliction of your people, we don't dismiss that book. But anytime somebody brings anytime we bring up historical documents in the world that's built on history, we always try to minimize like anybody could have said that. You can only understand the bullshit in the book if you read it. Like right now, you're a nutritionist. So because you do that, I'm assuming you say you into martial arts, I'm assuming you have some type of nutritionist lifestyle because you keep yourself in shape. So I'm sure there's some type of understanding that you had to internalize, that if you hear somebody speak about health or fitness or boxing, you can spot out whether that's accurate or not. There's many ideologies, but there's also a baseline of what goes. You have to throw a jab. Certain things are baseline. Our people don't have baseline knowledge of our history, point blank, and we keep making excuses about somebody's ideology. The Bible says to do what? To study
and show yourself approved.
And that our people are destroyed for what?
Lack of
knowledge.
So we can't escape that, and I don't think it's advantageous to keep pretending to do that. Just say, I don't feel like reading something. Stop, because our people will hear these messages that you're kicking, and they're gonna just
Ill.
say, well, Blu-ray said books ain't that serious, so I'm not
No,
gonna
no, 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 no. I ain't. Hold on. I ain't never said that now.
saying you are. I'm saying how these people are. You know how many things I say that get misconstrued. We got to realize that everybody watching isn't as intelligent as we are.
I'm gonna say it
and just go with it because who seems to be popular in the conversation in the moment.
Hey, Ellen, you remember when we was talking earlier when it was just me, you, and Massa?
Yeah.
And like I said, like me, I can have a conversation, and just because I say something, I believe I'm having a conversation for the conversation because I want to pull. Just like when me, you, and Massa have a conversation earlier, I would ask in certain questions to bring out certain perspectives because I understand we got a chat watch.
And it's working, so they coming out. And this is how it look when they come out. You what you doing your
He's
job?
all pulling. You know what I'm saying? He's all pulling.
I think
and I'm giving you that, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about what we talking about because it's about the crowd. So I'm always taking into account the misconstruing of the audience.
So,
I just try to flesh it out. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that Miss Pearl was trying to say something earlier, but she was trying to be polite. So just let her go ahead.
I'm gonna get last words in because I gotta get up early because I'm a 9 to 5 person, just like y'all. I ain't made it yet. I still gotta work and all that. So
damn.
I'm gonna let Pearl go, and then we're gonna spin it about for 5 minutes. If anybody want to let their last words, then I'm gonna shut it down. But I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Miss Pearl, it's on you.
For sure.
I'm gonna be really quick. I just want to add to that it's important for us to dedicate ourselves to sources of scholarship. I get what Blu-ray and Creator are saying. Like sometimes you have to verify your sources of information. You want to make sure the people who are delivering that information have pure intent. But I think that's what Illa is saying. Like there's a difference, and we know that, right? There's a difference between people who are just giving you like secondhand accounts, what they think, what they thought, like what they researched. And then there's actual like historical context. Like you're not going to debate if 1492 Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? But that was in a book somewhere that you read in the school, right? So I get what everybody is saying, but I just think it's still important for us to focus on scholarship and even just to study how people have been throwing us off, which goes to what Khalil was saying. Like education is important, not just the indoctrination, because I heard Blu-ray say that earlier. The indoctrination is important, but you also have to rationalize and understand how to get away from that. And if you're not focused on, like I said, the war that you're battling, you don't have the proper tools, you can't fight properly. And the only way that we can really fight without our fists, right, is through knowledge. And knowledge is power, power is knowledge. So I just agree with what everybody is saying, but I just think us as a people, we've been beat so hard with like, we just disassociate education. It's almost like we take that as like Eurocentric. Like you got to get into those books. You got to read them. Even if it is opinion based, how are you going to know that or not know that if you don't touch the book? You can't just conclude that without reading the book and analyzing it and then synthesizing it. So I think everybody's making great points, but the point is read the books and then analyze and evaluate if it's a logical or illogical source, and then you go from there. But I just think we as a people, that's a tiring process. Like everybody would rather just come on here and be subjective. He's speaking objectively about facts, not what you think, what you want to think, what you want to feel. It's just what we should know so we can grow. And I land my plane.
So, well, the reason I brought that up was because of the conversation that they had on real quick. The reason I brought that up because Illa, the whole point of this entire stream was to for Illa to play a video from a panel that he was on, and he was having a conversation, and that's what they were doing to him on that show, was talking about what he's saying was subjective. Am I right or wrong, Illa?
Yeah, they were saying that being so concerned with history is synonymous to having a victim mindset.
And so I just brought that up because for the actual individual that he was having a conversation with, and we know me and Illa know who he having a conversation with, that person is not going to get off the fact that, hey, it's subjective. Am I right or wrong, Illa?
And you're right, but this the thing. It ain't about me or that person. It's about the audience. And the audience need to know what the truth is. They don't need to just follow somebody's statement because they're popular. But
that's what happened, though, Illa.
And that's why I'm doing this show. That's why I'm here, to provide the balance.
Oh.
Because there's so many people on these spaces that just say whatever the fuck they want to say. And we think because they have an objective view on women that qualifies their opinion on life, and it doesn't.
I agree.
No, hold on. So why say hold on, Chris. So what I'm saying is, so what I'm doing is it's iron sharpening iron with me and you, right? Because like I said, we talked 2 hours and we had a conversation so good they didn't even want us to play the video. I don't know if you watched the comments.
No,
But
When was this Blue? I want to go back and check it out.
what you
Today.
mean?
It was today.
We was reviewing the old show, but he was talking about the conversation we had today was going so good that we really didn't get the chance to get to the video because people just enjoyed us talking.
Oh, he talking about just here in just a minute. Okay, I'm tripping.
Yeah, 2 hours before y'all got here, Chris.
Whatever, Pearl. Hey, so look now.
No, because
real
I was
quick-
watching, so I
Yeah, he's crazy. So I understand about the books, I do, but I want to put emphasis on since we brought up other groups, let's bring up the immigrant group, right? And that's all the immigrants. Now, I do want to focus on education, not necessarily books, meaning the Hispanic community have came over here, right? And these niggas ain't reading books. They kids are. They like the kids is getting a good American education. But when they come over here and do your roof, they ain't reading no book, bro. I'm getting ready to show him what to do. I'm just telling you. Hold on,
We
Il.
conflating
Hold on,
conversations,
Il. I'm
though.
telling you, bro.
We
I'm not
conflating.
knocking education, but I am the indoctrination. We were saying is important. Meaning, when you come over here, I'm going to show you what to do so you can make 70 grand a year. You don't have to read no book. So now, because of that system that they are imploring, they have now become the second citizen in our country while we've been here. So I get reading books. I'm just saying,
I
what
know,
is it that we
but
actually are reading? What's important?
No, I'm not. But you're conflating two different things, though, because what you're talking about is getting to the money and becoming industrious. That's a separate conversation. We're talking about knowing where you come from to give you more incentive to look at your brother and sister as an ally, as opposed to somebody I don't fuck with, because you don't know what happened. That's like if you realize you got a long lost brother, and like, oh, daddy played you, he played me the same way. Oh, you know what? We got more in common than I thought. So those people you talking about, they're not reading books because they already know. You think that the Ecuadorian already know his history when he get here?
Good point, brother.
He already know his history when he get here. The Asian already know his history. He just don't know He just don't know the American commercial system. He don't know the laws for getting his construction license. I work in construction. I work with them. They don't know that, but they know about their culture. They know about their holidays and the Aztec and the Mayans and the Mayates. They know that shit. We don't know nothing about history outside of Obama. All we know is Jesus came, Adam and Eve came, Jesus died, Martin came, Malcolm X, BT Hip Hop Awards, Kaepernick took a knee. That's Black history.
Hey, man, cut that shit out, man. Cut that shit out.
Tell you what the fuck it is. That's how we look at history, and that's not history. That's a brand of history that was branded to you because you have a brand on you. You call yourself a crayon in the world full of nationalities. You're just Black. Even though we have shades of brown, tan, a little bit of this, but we just Black. Even though my shirt is black, my skin is brown, it don't match at all. Even though Black is an adjective, it's not even grammatically correct to identify as anybody as a color.
But if we register it as an entity, now we exist.
Hold on.
Now it exists.
We already exist. The problem is we don't know who we are to know that it exists in the first place. But that's another conversation for another show. If you pull up on Monday, you'll see what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is we can still chew gum and walk at the same time. We can teach our children to be industrious. We can teach our children skills. We can teach our children financial literacy. And we can also teach our children where the fuck we come from. Because when you put it all together, then you're unstoppable. We're trying to take pieces instead of putting the whole tapestry together. But I'm going to let algorithm come in. And whoever want to chop in, this is it. And then I got to go. So the floor is yours.
Hey, real quick, I'm about to drop off, man. Listen. I'm about to drop off real quick. Hey, appreciate you. Illa, we can review the video another day.
Word. I appreciate you, Blue.
Hey, man, I'm out, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
All right, so since this is where the conversation actually went to, I'll be short because I know you got that 9 to 5 to handle in the morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna say that Learning doesn't stop at 12th grade, you guys. All right. It doesn't stop when you get done, when you're done with school and you get your scholarship. If you're not trying to be a life learner, then you have stopped conceding to building anything. If you believe that you don't learn everything you can learn, there's nothing for you to learn. You are not considered a life learner. You have gave up on your community. And if you don't believe that, you are far from what you think where you're going to be. So, in closing, you should always be researching what someone have said, especially if you're not abreast on the subject matter. Currently now, if you're on here and you're hearing us speak on various subjects, it will behoove you to write down the subject matter that you're not familiar with, because you took the time to sit here and actually speak on these, not speak on, but to hear us out on what we knew, our knowledge on based on the situations. So you need to go back and say, you know what? Let me research what they were talking about before I really concede to their opinion. Because it's an opinion until you take the time to make it objective. And if you're not doing that, you're not helping out. You're not helping yourself out. You're you're helping destroy the community. That's what I'm going to leave you guys with.
Like Algorithm Unfiltered, brother, you can always pull up on my channel, brother. You always got a seat. Anytime you want to put that goes for all of y'all. I ain't trying to be funny, but I just really appreciated what he said, because it's a simple truth that I be trying to push, and that is, if you're going to get on the internet and speak in front of all these black people, know what the fuck you talking about.
I agree.
You be able to cite your sources or whatever the fuck you think you know, and if you can't cite your sources, speaking passionately and jumping up and down and over talking people means absolutely nothing, especially on philosophical radio, because that shit is never going to fly. Because I can out-talk you, I can outdo all that shit, and I got scholarship. So when you come over here, know what you're talking about, because we really honor scholarship, and I take that seriously, because our people just are destroyed for the lack of knowledge and literacy. Our people didn't just die for us to vote. They didn't just die for us to own shit. They die for us to be literate. Because if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know your past, you definitely don't know where you are and the trajectory of where you're going. And it's not just about studying just your history. You need to study the history and the cultures of behaviors of the people who constructed your reality. We don't do that either. We keep thinking they think like us, and no, they don't. They don't look at life how you look at it. They have different interests, different proclivities that'll blow your fucking mind. You think you know him, you don't know who you're dealing with. So you need to read some fucking books, read some literature, and understand who you're dealing with.
Like for instance, Illa. It was this one lady. She was talking about, the kids in her classroom that I know of, right? And she was like, man, they got this one particular child. He just can't learn anything. He just don't want to do nothing but act up. I say, well, you need to refer that child to the school counselors. That way you can get that person evaluated, because it may not be what they're going towards. And when I told her that, because he may be dyslexic and can't learn the way that you actually teaching them. And what ended up happening 2 years later, she said, wow, that kid was dyslexic. They figured out what the problem is. And now that particular child is doing better in his studies. They literally gotten better. Now, is that everyone's situation? No, it may not be everyone's situation. Maybe that teaching pattern was completely off when it came towards that particular child. But just my suggestion, which I could have been wrong at that particular time, turned it to a positive, because she was actually thankful. All I was just trying to tell her, don't just look at it one way. It could be multiple things that could be causing those particular issues. The only reason why I threw that particular example out to her, because it was the one example that she didn't state. She stated all the other examples, and I just threw that one in there. And then she literally followed up on it. And 2 years later, they found out that child had a reading I forgot what they call it. I think it's
impediment.
Reading disability.
No, it's a reading disability. Yeah, it's a reading disability. And once they figured that out, they was actually able to put that child on the correct path.
All right.
Last word.
Cole L, go in, then I'm gonna hit these super chats and I'm gonna let everybody go. The floor is on you, beloved.
Nah, man, I heard everybody's perspectives. I really don't got nothing too much else to say on the matter. I think as Black people, we need to just try to find a different way other than what we've been doing.
I agree with that. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Put our brains, our money, everything into finding a different way to, I don't want to say be on top, but to collectively become a part of economics, you know what I'm saying, and how things are distributed, because we not, and the rest of the world don't respect us as that.
Cole L, I got a show Monday that I really would like for you to tune into. You know what I mean? It's going to be a panel of brothers that are speaking about all of these things, but from a nationality perspective that a lot of us really haven't paid attention to, that we think we understand, but it hasn't really been fleshed out. So I think that those questions you got, I think it may be answered, maybe not, but I think you will find some interest. And that goes to everybody. I think you'll really find a lot of interest in Monday show. And I'll also, to everybody in the chat, next week I will be having a one-on-one interview with Obsidian Ali. We're going to be chopping it up with a one-on-one, and look out for a one-on-one with me and Saint Tacina as well. So we got a lot of dope, new, fresh content coming out. Because like when I first came to the space, I was doing interviews. Like panels was cool, but I like having panels with thinkers. I don't like just anybody just coming up here. I was blessed because I had some came up here without warning, but y'all all contributed greatly. You actually made the show, so I appreciate every last one of y'all for pulling up. But I usually don't do that, but y'all are smart. But I don't like just anybody coming up because it throws off the vibe of the show, and it gets a lot of clippable moments. It gets reacted to, but it causes to me more animosity than anything, because I know me personally, you say something slick to me, I'm gonna remember next time I see you on these panels. Like I'm not getting over none of that. Mm-hmm. Not even deal with them situations and try not to even fess them, because I'm really going to approach you. Like I'm not with none of that peanut butter and jelly shit. How I am online, I'm the same way offline. Mm-hmm. Create them type of those. I don't want to add to that. So whenever y'all come up here, trust me, everybody gonna be able to speak. I don't want nobody to feel disrespected, and I'm just trying to do something different. Like I'm like, hey, why? Because at the end of the day, we can't pick. We love to say we need to do things better. Then we got to start all over across the board. We can't just. It's like when you deal with dating. A lot of people say, "Oh, I was with this woman or this man for 6-7 years, and we went through something financial, or I had a baby, or something happened with our family, and I realized that they didn't have the emotional depth because you didn't require it in the beginning." And we always require this depth from Black people, but we don't appreciate it in conversation. We don't appreciate it in our art. We don't appreciate the depth in no area until we need it. But we have to pedestalize depth and intelligence and empathy all across the board. So when we need it, it's like, where is it at? You can only provide something that you already cultivated. We can't just stop and just become this bright, intelligent, deep thinkers because we need to all of a sudden. No, we have to create a culture where that's normal, where being intelligent is normal, where having skills is normal, where that's glorified, not just coming home from jail, not just having a bunch of money, but skills, empathy, networking abilities, leadership, patience. All these things have to be treated with the same reverence that we do people who just got money. So until we do that on a micro scale, we can't expect it to be happening at a macro scale. So this is a small example of us attempting to do that. If we want to type real results, let's appreciate real conversations, not just toxic ones that get a lot of clicks and likes that just leads to a lot of animosity. I'm not with that. So
I'm with it, brother. I think Pearlie want to say something. Go ahead, mommy.
Go ahead, Pearl.
It's Miss Pearl. Thank y'all.
Oh, exactly. It's Miss Pearl.
No, I'm just, I don't want to be difficult. I just want to add to what Ella was saying. I just want to add that Japan literally doesn't start teaching their children academics until 4th grade. So the kids are like 9 to 10 years old. That's when they start learning math, science, reading, and social studies, and all those other things. What are they learning from birth to then? They're learning character, social skills, manners, empathy, respect, responsibility, life skills, character traits. So they're more well-rounded and they have higher emotional intelligence and discipline. So I just was throwing that out there, that everybody doesn't learn the same way, and we're highly indoctrinated here, and that's for a clear reason. So I love Japan, but just throwing that out there.
Just in final thoughts. First off, good looking, brother, and I appreciate you. That's the only reason I came up, because the conversation has substance. You understand? We talking about something that I teach my kids, you understand, is to be prepared men before you get out here, whether you're gonna be a husband, right? Or either way, to me, once you choose a woman and you have a child with that woman, you a husband. You understand? You didn't chose responsibility now and commitment. A lot of fear in our community comes from lack of knowing, and that's why I'm not knocking education by no means. I would never ever knock education. I ain't knocking the military. I'm not knocking that, right? Because those are things in our community that traditionally we have kind of pushed over. I'm not knocking the ratchetness before I close. The ratchet folk, right? Any other folk, we can call them small hats, we can call them whatever. But if we come out with our bonnets or our hair protective, whatever, we have to conform to. I don't want to do that. That's why I said I think learning finance and really getting in depth with the value of us, and that start with the black man. So if the black man has a plan on teaching, right, it's gonna go beyond the book. The learning come from home. Once they get to school, that's the and a also, right? You should breeze through school. Like my kids, I tell them, hey, it shouldn't be no reason why you shouldn't ace school, because you acing home. So once you ace home, school should be a breeze for you, right? Now, also teaching, I go back to value, and then we were talking about the Bible, right? And the 4,000 year, whatever, happened 4,000 years ago. And again, I understand history, I truly do, but sometimes history is easy for people to go back on because they don't have foresight. You can't see the plan in front of you. You're even scared to jump off the porch with that plan that's in front of you. So you can't continue to read, and not execute what it is you're reading and why you're even reading it in the first place.
That's true. That's what they call paralysis of analysis. So that matters. But like I said, they all matter because you got two people, right? You got one person that's financial literate. You got another. They both financial literate. One of them has a historical understanding, the other one don't. So who you think is going to be more likely to work with you? The person who understands history or the one that just understands finance? Because we got a lot of black people that understands money. We got Jay-Z's, we got Oprah. Jay-Z just put. I just read somewhere he just put $500 million into Korean K-pop. I don't know if it's fake. It could be a fake news or whatever. But do you think he understands history that thoroughly if he feels like that the Korean K-pop culture could use a $500 million investment versus Brooklyn or Marcy Project? So what I'm saying is history should give you incentive to deal with yours with whatever plan you have today. It's not about looking back and staying a victim. It's about saying, hey, we went through so much that we don't have time to fight today. It's not about staying in the past. It's using the past to unify your future and your present. Even when I looked up on ChatGPT, I said, how do you approach someone? How does the Jewish community, what do they do to keep their culture alive? The first thing ChatGPT said was history and cultural remembrance. First thing. If you don't know, that's why we got so many successful black people who just be like, oh, black people. They don't feel no connection to other black people despite their financial literacy. We don't need people like that with money. We need people in power that knows what happened to us, that knows the ills of our community, so they can put the wisdom behind the financial allocation. We got a lot of financially wise people with no empathy and no connection whatsoever to the grassroots black person. That person is not helping us at all. We need balance. And with that, I'm going to say these super chats real quick. Marcus Evans said, hello, my good people. Shout out to Marcus Evans with the $5. Appreciate it. Y'all be good. I appreciate that. He said, thank you, Miss Pearl, for being the only one on the panel with logical sense tonight. She's off in that. But there was another sister that came earlier. I think she left. I think it was Karen. She had some good points. Shout out to her. No disrespect, sir, but Miss Pearl is cute. I'm gonna leave it at that. Well, she is cute. I can't deny that. So you good, brother. You ain't seen nothing crazy. Talk that shit, Pearl. Fans tonight, man. She got a lot of fans tonight. But I'm sorry to tell you, Miss Pearl has a man, y'all. I'm sorry. She's not available. So sorry. She's off the market. But yeah, we said that one already. But yeah, that was
you can keep that cash app pumping though.
man, you know, you got to show love to the people. You know what I'm saying? I don't bang the drum of the money all day because some people are in the live, they don't get no donation. I don't do that.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to put the information out. We all got bills to pay, so you know, I'm trying to put money into the content. So you know, the more we make, the more we upgrade the cameras,
Right.
you know, all that good stuff. But I'm not just doing this for money. You know what I'm saying? But if it comes, I'm open to it. Money answers all things. A lot of people like to say love money is the root of all evil. That's not the verse says. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. But money does answer all things. The Bible also says that. So it's a utility that we can use. It's not about making it rain. It's about using it. To everything we got, we use money to get it. So that's neither here nor there. But
one of my best tools, buddy. One of my best tools.
Exactly. So appreciate everybody with the super chats, man. Yeah, so with that being said, y'all, appreciate everybody for pulling up. Miss Pearl came through with the intelligent contributors. Shout out to Blu-ray as well. Great show. I appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. Much love. Like I said, everybody that pulled up tonight, you are always invited. You know what I mean?
Good looking, brother. Good looking.
You can't pull up. As long, you know, just come through whenever you feel like you see me going live. I'll drop the stream. You guys officially can come whenever you want to. You know what I'm saying? Super duper pause on that. But you know what I mean. So yeah, with that being said, peace and love, y'all. We are out of here. One.
Them niggas shrink around you, man. You know what I'm saying? They just in the space probably before you was a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But them niggas shrink when you come around. That's why them niggas don't want you around.
Situation with the genders and all of that shit that we've been hearing about. And there's nobody better than the gore. Philosophical to come set that bitch off.
Yo, you know.